sort of, warily and not particularly enthusiastically, in Barovia and wandering down the street, came across this house with two beguiling children begging for your assistance because...
Dead children.
Well,
Actually dead.
Deadish.
deadish, maybe dead.
They're on the dead scale.
On the scale of dead, they're probably dead. Please
Not
come help. Mum and Dad stuck down the cellar, they went to fight the monster, and our baby brother stuck inside. And you valiantly went in the house to help them, and having worked your way systematically through all the floors, Quinny getting stuck in a secret cupboard for a period of time, and the child who nearly got left outside with the dead children, defeating the suit of arms single-handedly while everybody else flailed around madly at the top of the flight of stairs and Quinny hid in the cupboard.
I did a fairly decent
You did.
with my warhammer.
I like to think of it more as a temporary study rather than a couple.
You reached the top of the house and found the bones of the children that you now figure are not outside. One of whom is now possessing Quinny. So Rose is now in Quinny's head, and Thorn is in Essequi's head.
Yes, when you do that. Like,
Yeah, not
oh
you,
my,
Rose.
not me.
So Rose is in Quinny's head, and Thorn is in Essequi's head. And you found Vash found the doll's house, which is an exact replica of this house, containing tiny little resin dolls that look surprisingly like each other wandering around this house. And you found on that a secret staircase, and have headed down that staircase and have now come down this wooden spiral staircase all the way down from the attic, way underneath the house, and you've reached a tunnel at the bottom of the flight of stairs extending north and south, and in the distance you can see it branching both to the east and the west. And this is very different to the actual house. This appears to have been dug into the earth in the house. The walls are made of sort of hard, packed clay soil, and the tunnels are about 4.5, maybe 5 feet wide, so it shouldn't really be too abreast of it easy. It's not lit down here, it's really dark and damp. And as you enter down the bottom of the flight of stairs, you can hear this eerie chanting, sort of coming from what seems like everywhere. You can't work out where it's coming from, it seems to be echoing all around. What would you like to do?
Does this place seem older than the house? Or
Mid-next.
Can I use my druid skills to give the help action?
Yes.
I'm going to come
I'd
over
like
and
to
Use that skill to mark.
Given my genetics,
Yes.
I'd like to smell for blood.
You can smell blood coming from all around down here.
Oh, that's
17.
that's
Help.
17.
Sorry? 17. 17. The mud seems to be really well compacted. You can't tell, in comparison to the stone and the brick of the house above, whether this was built after. You think it's likely this has been dug down from the house rather than the house is built on top of the house.
Can we tell what they're saying?
No, it's just this sort of, you can tell there are voices and it's repetitive over and over, but it's coming from all echoing. There's no distinct words.
I'd like to look around that corner to the north of us. I'm assuming up is north.
Yeah, up is north. So you're going this way?
Yep. I'll wander over and stick my head around.
Okay. So as you go up towards the north, there's a dead end ahead of you, and there's a tunnel branching off to your right, and a tunnel branching off there to your left.
Can I see down the tunnel to the right?
You can see, yeah, you can go there, you can see a little bit.
I certainly can't on the map.
I know.
Oh,
Can
cool.
I step up there and have a look? Because I've got 120 feet double sight.
I've got a torch as well.
Okay.
I've kept my bridges flamed.
Even if it's magical darkness, I can see.
Show off.
Devil sight, I love it. It's great.
I feel like like satyrs should get dark vision.
Who should get that?
I feel like satyrs should, because I feel like goats can see in the dark fairly well.
Cats don't have dark vision in games.
Yeah, but
When they have it in real life.
Figure.
hence why I said should.
So that's what you can see
Tabaxi
around
have
those
dark vision.
corners when you look around those corners. So as you look around the passage that you've gone into, it appears to branch again at the north and the south, and there are doors there that you can see in the clay tunnels. And then as you look round to the left at the top, there appears to be some steps going down and a table.
I'm going to call back and say, it looks like a maze through here.
So I pop my head around the top left corner, just to,
Top left corner.
yeah, just to see what's on that table.
You can't see there's anything really on the table. Maybe the remains of a meal. From this distance, you can't really tell.
I would pop my head around the bottom corner.
Going
Down.
south, yeah.
Hey, Dad, let's split up and look for clues.
We're not splitting up. We're just looking at each corner.
Daphne and Velma, you head over that way.
Actually, no, he'd always shake and scoop off on their own, and he'd
So,
take don't.
as you come
Daphne and
down,
Velma.
the doors here on your right hand side, the tunnel appears to be a dead end.
So Velma's got to go
To
up
the
by
south.
herself so she loses
And
some
then
glasses.
there is
And shake and scoop yours one edge.
a sort of small passage that appears to be kind of running parallel with the door.
I always find the actual thing naturally.
So sorry, the split corridor I can see to the east.
Yeah.
Those are doors there, are they?
Yeah.
Do they look? Can I go up and just jiggle the handle
Because
and
it's
see
just
if they're
like a
locked?
learning issue. That
I'll go have a look on the left one first. The top one
So
first.
the one at the top?
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh, good. That's a
no,
coffin.
that's just because I picked them out.
No, I'm looking at the coffin.
Yeah. So as the door opens pretty easily, it's not locked, and there appears to be a crypt with a stone slab propped up against the back wall.
Does it have writing on it or anything?
A sort of stone crypt like that.
Does it have any writing on it or anything to indicate who's buried here?
Or sleeps in.
It's con. Are you going in?
Yes, I will go in. Actually, sorry, before I go in, I'm going to say, I found a crypt, I'm going to take a closer I found a coffin, I'm going to take a closer
I'll
look.
head
And then I'll
straight
go.
there.
So we're going in.
With my knowledge of vampires and so on.
Okay.
I'll come as well.
Okay, so this appears to be completely empty and unmarked.
Yeah,
There's nothing written on it. It appears to be.
so correct me if I'm wrong, my understanding is that when you bury someone in a coffin, you fill it with dirt. Is that right?
So this is more. So
Never heard that before.
yeah, this is more of a kind of mausoleum kind
Okay.
of crypt. So these look like stone coffins where you would put
Oh.
like you would get in potentially a big cathedral or something.
Okay,
where,
cool.
You know, where you've got stone crypts and people
I-
laid in state, and then a big stone slab was put onto the top.
I'm going to contemplate why on earth someone would bury themselves here and then go down, look at the south room and see if
I'd
it's...
take a look at the crypt.
Okay, so we're
I'd like to actually look inside.
Okay.
Have we established that you look a bit vampire or not?
Well, I've done my form of dread, so I look like a vampire.
I didn't see that, sadly. I'll keep
So what do you
my
appear like
vampire
at the
thing to
moment?
myself.
Hey?
What do you appear like at the moment?
I have not used my form of dread. I look normal.
Okay.
Oh, that looks good.
Okay, so again, this is to all intents and purposes, these both appear to be empty. And on the lid of this crypt, on the lid of the coffin, is etched the name Walter Durst.
Walter Durst.
Baby.
Let me check my files.
That's the base.
Ah, you got that
I'd
for
like to look at the bottom door.
And that's what's a small copy.
So you're going down to which way? To this side or over
No,
here?
to
What did that say? Okay.
If I'm not finding anything, I'd go back into the hallway.
Okay. So Rose is coming over here. There's a door.
Probably head
You go
south.
in there. And so Rose is down here. Okay. And this is again, it's another crypt. This is quite small, and the stone slab is etched with the name Rosevalda Durst. Okay, it's empty.
But we've seen the bodies of the children upstairs, right?
Yes, yeah.
We've seen the corpses of the brother and the sister.
Yeah.
Not of the baby, not of the mother, not of the father.
That would be
Well, actually, we think the father was up.
It's weird there'd be a crypt if they were murdered, Jay. Like, unless this family was planning to build a crypt underneath their house before any of them died. It's weird there'd be a crypt if there was a murder, right?
Unless
Well,
one of them was planning on murdering them all.
I think it kind of gives it away if you're building a crypt.
Oh, what did you think of
Religion.
that? I
borrowed some dice or something.
Oh, really?
You had a lot of
Maybe not.
Yeah,
I've got-
like
got a whole set.
dice.
Do a
Oh.
green set of
Oh,
family.
did you want to borrow some dice again?
Green set.
Okay,
Nice.
thanks for the
Green set.
Mine coming up.
Next week I will have some.
I mean, the Egyptians used to build a crypt of an immense scale.
While their
This is
pharaohs are
true.
still alive.
That's true.
7.
You are
Very good.
you are very you're not particularly aware of people having crypts
That's
under
too
their
bad.
house.
Yeah.
So where in the Herald of Dawnslayers, the tradition would be to have a mausoleum or a crypt at a church
Yeah.
in hallowed ground, not in the asylum. So
Um,
you're seeing you've not come across this within your religion.
given my background,
Yeah.
could I assume that this is basically a vampire lair?
That seems like a good
Roll. So the one that you've just got into the above.
15.
So you don't get that feeling. You get the feeling that this is a family mausoleum. You just don't. It would, again, for you, be unusual that this would be all within the house rather than in hallowed ground. You don't necessarily think that this is vampires. The crypt to the north, you've seen it up here, it's etched with the name Thornbolt Durst. And again, there is an empty coffin on top of the stone here. So the coffins are empty.
Well, they're not so young.
I would go back into the knowledge to get them for the rest of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So are you telling everybody?
Yeah.
So in your head, Queenie, you hear Rose go, "What? A coffin? A coffin? For me? A coffin? With mother and father and a coffin?" And in your head, you can just hear, "I don't want to be dead," sobbing in your head, and a little sort of sucking noise.
Psychic damage.
I want to check out this table. and
No, we're
stuff.
taking emotional damage.
Okay. So
I took fucking.
Yeah.
okay. So you're going round to the top.
No, I'd like
Okay.
I'd like to check the boards that are at the bottom.
These ones.
Oh, yeah,
are
there's
aside.
Yeah.
So you can
I'd
go
like
here.
to first hear through
Okay. So these. So far you've got empty coffin, empty. You've got empty Walter, Rose, Thorn, and
Sorry, empty as in unmarked.
so empty as in no engravings,
Okay,
nothing
cool.
that you can identify. Then you've got Walter, who you would identify as the younger child, the
Yeah,
brother.
yeah.
And then you've got
No,
Rose.
So I was just checking if
Thorn.
you meant the thing was
No,
empty
that's
or is
right.
it?
Mark.
Cool.
And you've got Rose and Thorn, who are going to be the children who are currently inhabiting your head.
I roll with in perception for listening through the door.
You can't hear anything through the door.
Then I would roll.
Okay. So as you go through the door.
I would like to
Again,
say,
it's
as I'm
secondary.
doing all of this, I would be like,
Okay.
I'll
It's
come down.
it's a sort of mirror image of the other side with a
It's
door
nice
to
architectural significance.
the north
That's
and a
very
door to the south.
make my city
I
very
would
happy.
check first the doors.
Okay,
See
north
who
or
else.
south?
We'll do south first.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one use
So
for
as you come down here,
Oh,
you can see a coffin that appears to be there's a stone bier and a coffin, and the lid on the coffin appears to be a jar. As in,
on top
as
of,
in,
yeah.
it's not on top, it's not propped up against the wall.
That's
It's
what
slid
you're saying, a
sideways.
jar. So
No, it's not a jar. It's
I was like, I'll
it's-
investigate the jar.
the coffin has been
Wait a
transfigured
second.
into a jar.
it's a transfigured coffin.
It's been opened.
Is there any writing or anything to take these?
It's flat, so you can't see from where you are.
I would go and investigate.
I'll come and back her up.
Okay. That's fine. So as you lean over as you lean over that coffin to have a look, a huge swarm of centipedes just start crawling out. This huge big swarm of insects come snuffing out.
I'm sure his team
Um,
will
table on any chips.
I'm good for the moment.
I feel like I'm
And
My fly stop eating salt.
Did you say swarm of
a
centipedes?
swarm of centipedes from
Push up.
Centipede was that it's a voice. Attack.
Friends!
yeah.
These or regular black ones?
Regular, so no, these are they're regular size centipedes, but there's lots and lots of them.
Is there an odd or even number of them in the swarm?
In the swarm, are you counting them from where you are?
If I have line of sight, then I'm going to cast some spells instead.
So you're not there at the moment.
I would jump back and just grab a hammer and smack them. Big circus area.
Okay, so
Whack-a-mole.
roll initiative and see whether or not you get to go before they do, because they've just jumped you.
19.
Okay, so you can attack them.
I'm just smacking it with the ball.
You're smashing one of these
Yeah.
things again.
Yeah,
Okay, all right,
Arlene
then.
smash.
that's fine.
All right, then.
The 10th
Smack
level
it
club.
with four
So just-
hammer.
Yeah.
You could at least get a couple of them
Yeah.
at a time.
I cast meteor swarm.
Automatic damage or
So what did you?
I don't catch it perfect.
It's slightly
For a great breath attack.
I guess not.
hit.
I said none. What are you doing? One.
This is one launch study.
Minus
Just 3 times for the line for the
four damage.
I don't care. I didn't ask how big the room was. I said I cast 5.
Two or three of these
It's a ball.
centipedes
Fire.
scuttle back in the other direction, but they're coming at you and they're coming up en masse, and they go start crawling up your legs.
Yeah, but
So they are going to
Josh, do you want to get in on that issue since you're right?
Oh yeah, well, I'll be in on that. With my short sword.
Okay.
Oh, is that what it's like when people roll this?
Uh,
That's disconcerting. That's
I have a
awful.
16 on myself.
Okay, so first it's a miss. And again, all these things crawling up your legs. So 22. Yeah. Okay. So, no, 22. So you take So you take 8 damage. And basic starts chewing on your legs.
At our level, 22 would got almost floated.
It would for me. I would have exactly what you do.
I'm rocking a solid 19.
Yeah, same.
It's reliable 19.
Okay. So it's your go.
I've also got
Are
2
you joining
Yeah, I'm
the
joining in.
fight? Seeing all this?
I'm joining in on the fight.
Okay.
Roll your initiative then.
And you're in? Yep.
18 for initiative.
So that will be, what did you, so
19.
after, so Rose and Buff, sorry, and
Vish.
Ishkash.
14 to hit.
Hits.
And a 20 damage. And I would also be trying to shake the ones off my legs and put up in the lap.
They are chewing, they're like leeches with like furry backs and lots of legs. So they're all like holding on with their little teeth and they're trying to crawl inside your boots and things like that. That hurt. That hurt. There's a lot of squash centipede blood spattered all around this too.
And
So
does this centipede blood look cleaner?
It's
Odd.
green.
It doesn't look like
It's
regular.
green.
it looks green.
So it's not regular
It should
centipede
be
blood.
blue.
Well, I don't know.
It's a bit blue.
You'll have to ask her.
I'd call for the druid. I go.
Yeah, that's fine. If you call out, if I hear
Right,
someone
I will
calling out to me, I'll
step
definitely
forward.
come back and have a look.
Okay.
Yeah.
Take a
I
swing with
would
my
call
short
for
sword
the
and then
druid
step
friend.
back. And grab Harley and say, come with me.
Okay.
Because I'm hitting with booming blades.
Okay. So you're pulling her out.
I'm gonna grab her and say, back up.
Okay. So are you moving on your movement? Holly, are you moving out?
Yeah.
Because booming blade activates when they come at us.
I would, yeah, step
So
back.
that's a 23 to hit.
Hit.
Ah, crap. That's 6 damage.
That's still not bad.
So all the ones that are in there appear to be there's this sort of, and nothing appears to be moving, but they're still crawling,
You on me still.
coming up Harley's legs, and they're going to try to fight again at Harley's legs.
And you come out of it, they're going to top another 1d8 thunder damage.
Hey Ryan, you could invent some patented moves with your character, like the Vash Bash,
That's
the Vash Dash, the Vash Smash.
17 to hit.
You know what I mean?
The
Right?
potential's limitless.
Yeah, and you could
The
just say it like,
Vash
I'm gonna hit him with the double
That comes
Vash
after
Bash.
Well, actually,
A Vash
considering
slash, 'cause you
considering
use a
he's a short sword, it'd be a bash slash.
Yeah, Vash Slash. There you go.
I mean, when he takes a piss.
Or-
And then when he cooks us dinner, it's the bash mash.
Or back.
Well, realistically, because I'm using booming blade, might be the
Can
slash
I
and
get in
boom.
this round if I've heard my name being called and coming to check a look?
You can come in and you see Harley trying to attack her own legs with a hammer.
Interesting.
I would change and use my dagger from my leg, trying to scrape them off. No,
It is my professional
my
opinion.
flag.
The spell Animal Friendship targets a creature. Does the swarm count as a creature?
Yeah.
Or would I be making friends with... I'll
remaining
take a swarm of,
centipedes.
centipedes. Actually, that's a whole like spell slot. That's a lot of effort. I think I might go do that.
That's an 11.
That is
Next you try and
so
put
if you're
Francis
desperate
Plankton
trying to
in the
scrape
open.
them off,
That's what I mean. Like,
there's
I don't know how, like,
just crawling and
the
shuffling
mechanics
out
of
the
a
way,
swarm
trying to get
versus a
off
single
under the
creature is
iron
kind of
side.
Oh, I hate it.
Okay, back.
Ow! Get these things off me!
What have I got to do?
what sort of armor are you wearing? Awesome. That's like slightly fire resistant. If I, no, hear me out. If I'm not hurling fire. No, I don't have sacred flame. I'm a druid.
me from the town.
If I hold a produce flame in my hand, because that's part of the spell, hold it, and I run it over the legs where the centipedes are, will that kill the centipedes without damaging Harley?
Roll a d20.
Luck check.
That's a crit fail. I'm so sorry.
So, unfortunately,
That'd be
as
great,
you're
man.
desperately trying to chase these
Burn my
centipedes.
I
pants.
don't have a lot of spells, sorry.
As you're desperately trying to chase these centipedes around, what you're actually succeeding in doing is heating up the chainmail. So
But they're on the
Harley's armor
chainmail as
is-
well, aren't they?
So they're under them. So
under the
Harley's armor
chainmail.
gets hotter and hotter and hotter. So she's like,
Stop! Oh, back your hands away.
I believe
Well, I've tried nothing
we
yet.
have our
failed.
wellness.
you have caused
Yeah.
them to run back down
That about
towards
matches
you.
up with how I roll against all of you anyway.
Bad.
I don't know what. I don't think I've got anything.
Let's call it a gallon.
Do you have a blade of some sort? Do you
I've got a short sword. Do you want me to cut your leg off?
Time for the bash
You can
dash.
scrape them off like I was doing with my
I
dagger.
will attempt
I wouldn't recommend
Shave my
trying.
legs.
to flick the
Shave my legs.
centipedes off.
Okay, roll the attack roll.
22.
Yeah, those fish eat with this. You know,
Roll damage.
That's a hit.
centipede style.
I feel like it's a lot less pleasant than that.
Yeah.
That's 11 damage.
Okay, you managed to successfully, very skillfully, go down the leg and wang both of these two remaining
I have
centipedes
silky
off.
smooth legs.
You've got silky smooth legs.
Minus a few massive gashes for a centipede.
Yeah. And so they are no
That's
more.
red bite marks.
And with that, Vash will do a small blade flourish, spin his blade around, slide it into the that's sitting on the small across the small of his back.
That's
I
a
would
different
think-
cloud move.
And then turn to Druid Man and be like, are these normal? I've
I would
never-
like to examine the dead centipedes. I will
This
run a
blood does
finger
not
through.
seem normal.
Raced it.
Does this taste like normal centipede blood?
True
You
resurrection.
think that they're probably just normal centipedes
This
that have
seems
just
like
been
a-
down here for a really long time, and this is if you're built into the earth, so you would expect insects to be hanging out down here.
I'll pick up one of those. Oh, they're pretty normal. Can I check
Prop
out the
comedy.
coffin?
Yeah, you can check out the coffin. So when you get in there, there's all the other centipedes are just dead, and the name Elizabeth Durst is etched onto the cracked stone lid.
What's left in the coffin? Is there a body?
No, there's no body in the coffin.
Oh,
It's just
And
dead
dirt.
centipedes.
Do you want to? Is it dirt?
No, I'm good. I've had my fill. Thanks.
I'll go to the top door.
Thank you.
Okay, you're going to the top door.
yeah, I'm gone.
Okay.
Human centipedes.
Gone.
Oh, I'm waiting for someone to
Okay.
reference
I'm gonna go find someone in the party that can heal.
I can heal.
I stopped myself.
Okay.
You're missing the centipedes. I want to get far away from those
Okay,
centipedes.
so
That's fair.
you open
Just took me
the
to half
remaining door, and
Half out.
again, it's another crypt, and this one is etched with the name Gustav Durst, and it is an empty. It's empty. Empty
Except
coffin.
for Margaret.
Yeah.
Not that she was dead.
So no.
Looks
So
like we're going up.
And Uncle Dimov as well.
Going up north and saying, please, someone have a potion or something to help me.
I can,
Don't even want to think about what's in this stuff.
I can give you a cure wounds if you like, seeing as I can lick your legs off.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That's probably that is only 6, I'm afraid.
Something.
okay.
It's on 10.
I'll give you a little flower bunch.
Okay. So where are you headed now?
Rub some aloe vera.
We're heading north.
Yeah,
Yeah,
north
heading
and to the
north.
left.
Going north.
And I'm following this to death. I'm just grabbing Eddie's robes. I'm
Almost like walking real slow.
Yeah.
And I'll just like stride
There's a
straight
good chance
past.
that other people, yeah, will go straight past.
Okay. So you're all headed up here.
Yeah.
I think I've got five.
You all headed the same way.
Yeah.
35.
Okay.
Oh, well, I am.
40.
I don't want to.
Monks.
Which old man is which old
I'm
man?
picturing Yoda.
It's
No,
a
might
creepy
be.
call.
No. So,
The left old man is Mr. Zephyr,
Yeah.
sir, and the right old man
speedy off.
is Priest. This is
Oh
Zephyr
my God.
with his beard, and this is
Master of Vision.
okay.
Two old men. It's confusing.
It's really well met. Zephyr and the Cowl.
Yeah, no. I was trying to decipher which
Oh
one
my
was
god,
which.
it's a wine song.
He was horny as Master of Vision.
So,
Oh wow.
so
Well,
so you
well,
come into yeah, so you come to what appears to be a sort of a sort of a chamber. It's about 8 feet high. It's taller than the passages around it, taller than the walls. There are crates and barrels stacked against the wall. There are a couple of tables. There's wine, and it looks like this is a sort of multi-purpose room. There's some storage. It looks like there's been some cooking. There's some brooms and things up against the wall. Off to the west, down here, there's what looks like a corridor, and going south, there's also a small door, and behind that door, you can hear what sounds like scratching and grunting.
Vash would like to stand just in front of Zephyr there, equal distance from the door and the corridor.
I'm going to keep an eye on the door, but head over to the nearest wine rack and just grab 3 or 4 bottles and put in my pack, trying to be subtle.
Sherry.
Sorry.
Thank you, James. No, it's salvageable.
You would hate Arwen.
I think we can check some of the boxes up there.
Yeah, no, just in front of Zephyr there.
It's fine.
Okay.
They're rich.
If they're alive, I'll give it back.
So that,
One pile to the left.
That's how confident I am.
Perfect.
cool. You're going out there to check some stuff.
No, I'm standing.
Undead does not mean
That's
they're
fine.
alive.
Precisely.
Quinn went to get some wine. Yeah.
Yep. Taking
Okay.
a defensive position.
Okay. There's nothing that seems particularly exciting as you're looking around. So you're going to all the crates. There's some dried meat. It's quite rotten. There is lots of wine. The majority of the wine is labelled purple grape mash and then grape.
Love that.
That's it.
What year is it?
It's not like it's literally labelled. It's like it's label, and there's
Homebrew.
a W on the label and a lightning bolt, and it's got Wizard of Wines. Ooh,
Fancy.
purple
sure it's
grape
gonna
mash
be?
number 3. It would appear that there is only red wine in this cellar. And there are a couple of ones. They're a bit dusty, but not
Red
much.
wine
There's
in
some
the land full of
bundles
vampires.
of there's some
Orange
bundles
chicken,
of cleaning equipment. Unless you want cleaning equipment and brooms, there's nothing particularly exciting. The food's pretty rotten.
What's your reason about what's behind that door?
Yeah, I was assuming someone was going to open it, but we're all just staring at it.
Yeah.
Well, I'll go
You
open it if
already
no
got
one.
one.
I'll open it if no one
Are
else.
there like torches in the room?
But
Like,
Yeah.
on
Satyrs
sconces?
Satyrs only have
Oh, there's
candles?
torches
year life
on
expectancy.
sconces. Yeah, there's a
down
sort
the whole
of
level and then you got your
on this wall here. There's some sconces.
Alright, so I'll use prestidigitation to light them.
Okay.
I will open the door.
So those who don't have dark vision,
I would have my hammer prepared and be behind them.
Yeah, we're all carrying torches. It's still
it's
enough.
not light the room. Yeah.
Okay. So we've got some torches being lit.
Actually, just
Yeah.
before I open the door,
Yeah.
when you say scratching and growling,
Yeah.
can I tell, does this sound like it comes of a beast of the earth, of some natural creature, or does this sound like there's a, monster demon thing behind the door? Can I get a vague reading? Like,
Wasn't there someone had it?
Give me
there
a
was, they already had the dog upstairs.
nature
Oh.
check. See if you can.
Can it be anything else?
Because
I'm kidding.
No.
That's a 19.
So with the 19 nature, you
Plus
think
zero.
that
that should be wisdom.
you don't recognise the grunting as any animal that you know, and you can't tell without opening the door whether this would be a natural beast or not. You don't have that feel. You
And
don't recognise the particular grunt noises.
can I match the language using my talk with animals feature?
You think, with your talk with animals feature, that what you're hearing is a very guttural and informative comment.
Interesting. And vague and confusing. All right,
So-
I'm gonna look at everyone and make sure we're all on board with this, and then regardless of
I'll-
what they look like, open the door.
I'll unsheath my short sword.
Marley would give a nod and be a couple of
Make sure
steps
the
behind
cleric is
him.
within healing range, and
Hammer.
then crack out. Oh, thank God, it's not. And
Oh, there's something there.
There it is.
So, as you look down, there's a small, sort of disfigured creature that appears to be sitting at the far end of the room on what looks like a moldy straw bed, straw pallet in a tiny, tiny room. And it doesn't appear to be moving towards you. If anything, it appears to be cowering in the shadow, trying to get into the shadows in the far corner of this room.
I'm gonna put up my hands non-threateningly and try to talk to it and say, hey friend, hey, we're not here to hurt you. We're all okay here. We're all calm.
And so, as you
I'll take a few gingerly steps into the corridor.
okay, and as you sort of approach this creature, you can see that this is not any kind of creature you've ever seen before. This is a horribly disfigured creature. It's got rabbit ears and fur sort of across the face with a snout that's almost sort of wolf-like, but one leg is bent up and completely webbed like the leg of a frog. So it's hobbling towards you and it's got this sort of
Does it
frog
look
leg.
Does it
And
look
the
like
other-
made?
Pardon?
Does it look like it's been
Yeah,
created?
it looks like it's been stitched.
Mm,
And
that's
the-
disconcerting.
And the other leg is a sort of cloven, hoofed animal of some description. It's a tail. And it's got these sort of ruby yellow sort of eyes that look like they've not been actually dug up for a really long time.
Does it seem to be responding to me at all?
Oh, you can. It is not safe. You're not coming down here.
Leave while you can. Leave while you can. And as it turns around to go back in, you can hear sort of clinking and there's clearly like a big bunch of keys, like a jailer, sort of on its waist.
As soon as it turns round, never mind, I don't have no chance. I'm gonna gingerly walk back down the corridor without turning my back on it, and then just close the door once I'm out of there, and relay all that to everyone else.
Okay, it doesn't follow you.
Cool. At this point, if we don't need to kill or attack it, we can just leave it. I'm sure
So-
that will be a quietly strange. We don't know if we need the kids.
But
We've got our own kid.
so you
Got
can
a
just
skeleton
hear
there.
shuffling around and shuffling and around. He does not appear. This creature does not appear to be following you back into the room.
In fact, can I shove a sack of flour or something heavy in front of this door as I get out? Just a little extra secure.
Yep, you can. That's fine.
Does it open which way?
The door.
Yeah.
It opens in towards.
Ah, well,
towards the,
That doesn't really do a whole lot.
Well, we can't get in there in a hurry.
This is true, actually. I will still, if I can, actually, I'll put something that will, like a kettle or something metal, that if it gets knocked over, will hopefully only hear. Yeah, there's crime against nature, but it doesn't seem
So you can
Also, it's got
hear
some
sort of pacing and shuffling as much as you can hear really clear link where this sort of floppy leg is just sort of being along the floor. Pacing, what seems to be pacing backwards and forwards down the corridor and across the bottom, just sort of watching around. It's not making any attempt to
If it weren't like sentient and autonomous, I'd put it out of its misery. But
I mean, I could go in there and do
no. It's like alive and talking and stuff. So that's probably a bit of
And
an
your
over.
point is,
I think generally, if we don't need to kill things, why?
I think perhaps an abomination like that should be put out of its misery just for existence.
That's actually not our decision to make.
Did you ask it?
Did I ask it? I couldn't think of a way to phrase, do you want us to kill you, that didn't come off as a threat.
Do you want us to push back?
Again, that still just sounds like a threat with extra steps.
Unrelated to this. There's this for a headline. Coalition Australian MP found asleep denies soiling his hands.
Was he in a knackers?
An explosive claim has emerged that a mystery coalition MP was found in his office and had pulled his own urine at 3:30 this morning.
The fact that they keep their name anonymous, but will report most people's names for crimes, really bugs me. But anyway.
They'll say, you know,
It's because it's a member of parliament.
that's a member of
Yeah.
parliament, but not
Deserved
you know, like how they
Member of the coalition,
If
so that
somebody,
narrows it
leaked,
down a bit.
somebody leaked text messages of the Prime Minister, read it on, you know, without saying it, you know, like.
Okay, so
Sorry.
where are you going next? So you're all
Okay.
back in this room.
I'm gonna
That's
head
why
down that corridor.
I'm going down the corridor
you're going down the corridor. Okay.
with my blade drawn.
Yeah.
Okay.
I really should have asked that. What else was around? But anyway.
Because I hold my sword reverse hilt style, so I've got the blade running up the back of my right arm. So I'm just walking, but it's there if I need it.
It's very.
So
That way you can't see the blade. If
you
I'm
see
standing
some
like this.
you see some steps going down, and at the bottom of the steps you see.
I will gingerly approach the door and try and listen through the door to see if there's anything moving on the outside.
My only weapon I've got other than my staff is a massive sickle for farming, so I have very
No,
high
5.
weapons.
So with 5 you can't hear anything, but you're still quite distracted by the shuffling and grunting that's.
Can I check to see if the door's locked?
You can't hear anything.
Can I check to see if the door's locked?
Is there
I
enough
think
room?
we're going to need a small friend down here. This door's locked.
Okay. Mr. Zephyr, sir, should I go down?
Yeah.
Yes, my boy.
Relax my
I'll see what I can do.
Okay.
I'll
So
go.
you're going to go try and pick the lock?
Mhm.
Okay.
I want to place, with your permission, of course, guidance.
Ah, that's awesome.
My most favourite.
This
Oh,
is
the
probably
very
like
quick
this.
Cantrip.
Best
We'll totally
utility cantrip.
It is first usually.
So picking locks, what do I want?
It's
Dexterity.
Feels like it's
Dexterity.
Plus proficiency.
It's some guidance.
I run a slide.
Like, and this is like, oh, 3 stop.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh, you just go,
Channeling your
And
inner
you
arm in
thought
there.
we'd need things.
I'm just
and
like,
you just go,
is that okay, Mr. Zephyr?
it just opens. Like, you kind of look and go,
Like,
I'm not sure if you're-
Like vaccine.
you're
And I'm
not
going to be right behind him,
you
so
open
he's walking
that
through
so
the
easily.
That's what a toothpick.
You open that so easily, you're not even 100% sure whether it's not locked or whether he just wasn't very good at trying to hold it locked.
Zipper's going to just like walk through at a very brisk pace, as if he's like all of a sudden determined because he's little hands like.
I'll be right behind Zephyr.
Okay, so you're going down to. Okay. And you're going down after that.
Because in Vash's estimation, this Zephyr dude's he's pretty frail, so if he gets into some trouble, I need to back him up.
I'll flank up the rear.
I'm assuming that you're headed down here. So as you go further down, there's this very odd room with what appears to be a 4-foot sort of a stone lip all the way around what looks like it used to be a giant water-filled system. So there's a little bit of water on the bottom, like in a kind of puddle, and there's a sort of ledge running all the way around the edge.
So that's all. That's the water cistern sort of.
Yeah. So there's. I think it's.
Did you say, sorry, 4 feet down to the cistern?
Yeah, so there's some ladders downside, but there's a stone ledge running around the north wall and the east wall, and a little bit away on the south wall. Then there's a sort of platform over on the far southeast corner where it's dark. There's a sort of platform over here. Is what looks like a door at the top of
With
Just to my
my
left, is that a body?
that. Over in this corner.
Yeah, there looks like blood and bones and stuff.
Yeah, so it looks like people have died in here. So there is blood, there are skeletons. Right in the centre, I'll just move to the side, there's a sort of what looks like the remains of a well shaft and sort of water around the bottom. But it's almost it's difficult to tell. You think that there was fighting that used to happen in here, and there's this ledge around the top.
Does this almost look like a laboratory or pit or something?
Yeah, you get that sort of vibe, and there's a platform up in this corner, and you can see doors. If you go back up onto the ledge, and climb up the ladders onto the ledge, you can see that there's a door here, and you can see that there is a door over there, and you can see that there is a door over here. And that there doesn't appear to be in this far corner down here appears to be almost like a tall dais, like platform. It's sheer stone. It doesn't look like you can
Observation
climb.
deck.
Yeah, it's very smooth.
How high
Climb
up is it?
Fun?
How high up is it?
Up is it? About 20 feet. It's very tall. It's a really high chamber compared
How high can I
to
jump?
What's your strength?
Jump
height, jumping height, so basically strength.
Yes, jumping distance. I can. My strength's
My
pretty
jump is 10.
Shoot
What's
to
your
15.
How tall are you? It's 6 feet.
So it's 3
No,
plus strength.
13 feet.
It's 3 plus strength modifier plus 10 feet. It's your vertical jump.
That's 4 feet up.
Yeah, you're not drenched. You can jump nearly 20
But
feet.
my
Yeah.
long jump is down. What's the
I can also.
Can I jump?
Oh, I could get
20
up.
strength
I can-
barbarian.
Can I can jump 20
20
feet high if I roll high enough because I've got mirthful leaps as a satyr.
Yeah.
Can I try and just run vertically up this wall because I'm half
Right?
height?
Yeah.
Right, so I can get
Plus 11.
I can get 13. Sorry, I can get
So,
4 feet up just straight.
so,
Oh no, hang on. You said it's 20 feet up.
yeah. So Harleen is going into this through the door onto the western.
You're gonna get. I can grab a ledge that's 19 feet off the ground
Oh,
if I roll an 8 on my mirthful leaps. But if it's 20 feet high,
yeah, you will get that.
if I can't make it, I'm not gonna try.
It's just, you looked at it and you're like, oh, it's just, it
I
doesn't
kind of
look
want to try just to show off.
So this room, this looks like somebody's sleeping quarters, and there's a chest at the bottom of what looks like a really moldy, horrible straw mattress. There's blood and gore and all sorts soaked into this mattress, but there's a chest at the bottom of this straw mattress.
If I stand on someone's shoulders to start with,
Yeah.
does
Not,
that
not mine.
does that yeah? As long as they're more than a feet tall, would that make up the extra difference? I'm going to ask whoever looks tallest can give me a hand.
Okay.
It's
So
probably
there's a chest at the bottom of the bed.
No, probably the paladin.
Helen be the sturdiest.
Can I borrow your shoulders, please?
Harley.
Just go stand there.
So that's what
Yeah.
we're
You've
yeah.
got armor.
Is the chance
You've got like plate armor on there.
Yeah, no, it's open. It's not open, not shut, but it's
You're
not.
a cleric, so keep thinking
I
Helen,
would
I
like
don't know why.
to use the
Everyone's
end
Helen.
of the hand
Okay, so
I mean, if you really want, I could go
and
vengeance.
this one is to jump out,
To the fire.
this
Oh,
is
you've
to
got-
nothing.
We've got everyone. You'll be
So
fine.
you
Well,
just
that
drop
could be
into
useful
the
power.
I'll hand it off.
There is a black
I got it.
leather
That's fine. Please. Let me have
So
that.
much black
So how
leather
do
backpack.
you what?
Where the
5 feet up
behind
to your
that
shoulders.
is a
So
red
it's 5, 11,
so
is
it's a
16.
red
So I need
card
an extra 4
sewed
feet.
onto an art patch. And you would recognise this.
Damn it,
You live
I
in the high end of the dealt with a lot of them. So you would recognise that as a party, and that would be a worth about.
Like late jump shot.
So yeah, so I jump 19 feet up in the air off your shoulders and don't.
Okay. So colleagues pressure.
There's a ladder right there.
Okay.
Is there a
There's also a
No,
black
he's-
leather
no, he's
sword.
trying-
There's
he's
also
trying to
a
get
black
up
leather book.
I'm trying to get out.
I would take
Oh,
Okay, that's fine.
I'll go up to the bottom door.
So going to the north or the south?
South.
Okay.
Damn it, that's a 1. I just don't think it's going to happen. After 2 tries of running, we're probably landing on
So
me.
again, it's so you
I
find
don't check, so I can just
again what seems to be a chamber of some description, like there's a straw pallet. There's somebody, obviously, a number of people slept in here. What you can see in the clay of the tunnels, there's lots of footprints backwards and forwards. So you know this has been used for a really long time. And again, there's a chest in this room as well.
I would like to have
Yeah, so this chest again opens easily and contains an ivory hairbrush, but each of the bristles appears to be made of pure silver.
ivory hairbrush made of silver.
bristles.
Pocket that.
I will.
Slap someone in the face with that. It doesn't like silver. That'd be great.
It's
It's silver though. It like
It's
it
silver
works
weapon.
away creatures.
It is a silvered weapon.
I don't know. Like, I'm going to do a
Just
default.
brush a
if
werewolf
we-
with this.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. I just
Well,
like
we
a
bump
lights
into, like, a
torch this
bear,
well.
the bear
You're
powers
made
up
as
in that
far
way.
too
It's the werewolf hairdressing. Yes.
That's what
Maybe
I mean.
that's
It's
literally the
silver.
only way you can get out
Silver
knots
is
in
helpful.
werewolf hair. It's like you need a silver hair. Oh, hang on.
And there's also 11 gold pieces,
I'll take those.
60 silver pieces,
Hang on. 11 gold
Oh, you got golden pieces in your
and 60 silver.
and they're in a pouch.
I will.
They're all in a.
I will.
I just got a fancy eye patch. I would like to have a flick through this book.
Okay. So the book is grimy and stained, but appears to be a list of names and descriptions. So and some kind of event. So it's got a physical description of a person, and then the third column is all sorts of struggle profusely during ceremony, and no sedative used on this occasion. Lots of blood, and then lost an arm on this occasion. Most dissatisfying. There appears to be some kind of documentation of victims of some kind of.
I'm gonna have to go check the door on the floor.
Okay.
Having failed my attempt to jump up the 20-foot ledge, I'll go with them and hop into the tunnel.
Probably total on armor for it being in my room.
Yeah. Just sorry, first I'll keep them and take out a rest and buff up your another arm on your shoulders too.
Okay, so again,
And as you finish that, I'll walk past and finish the prestidigitation.
Actually, what I'll do is I'll use
Get rid of the dirt marks. Very clean
I'll
armor.
use
Very clean
clean
armor.
powers to summon up some leaves and crush them up.
so you get to
Meaty
make
afterglow.
Yeah.
and you find again exactly the same. So dirty, mouldy, bloodstained straw pallet, and yes.
Do the same. Here's the hammer to open the chest. Just in case.
Okay. Inside the chest, there's nothing jumps out of the chest, but inside the chest is a silver short sword.
A silvered short sword. Can I attempt to tell how old this blood is?
Yeah.
Somebody
What
just
do you
happens to
want
have a short
for
sword.
that?
Investigation.
Can I
Somebody
do
just happens
medicine?
to have a short sword.
Blood falls in
You know.
That's a 23.
Very old. So
Very
you
old.
would estimate this to be hundreds of years.
Okay, that's interesting.
So it's hundreds of years.
So
I'll relay
You
that.
don't think that this is recent.
This place is
So there's no other exits down.
No, so the
It
only thing
looks
you've
like
not
there's
been
a
able to
human
see
pyramid.
is this. So if you stand right back in the far corner, you can see what you think is a chair on the top of this very
Where I see
high
it clearer than everyone
platform,
else.
and but you assume that there is a way into it from the other side. You can't see a way up from this side.
Question.
Yes.
Is that a post in the middle or is that a whole down?
So it doesn't look like a post. It looks like it was a hold down, probably for sort of sluicing blood and water out here.
If I ever run and start with a good time, acrobatic sort of run, jump, parkour up the wall.
We can try.
That be acrobatics, athletic,
Acrobatics.
that's a dirty 20.
So you get about halfway up, about 10, 12 feet up, you run all the way up, and it's just vertical, it's slippery, it's like almost polished clay. So you just slide down.
Yeah.
I want
there
to
anything-
try going up there again. Can I borrow someone's shoulders again?
Is
I'll
there
stand on your shoulders and try to jump forwards.
Okay,
is
go.
there anywhere like a rope could get hooked onto if I like lassoed or anything like that up the top?
Not that you can see from where you are. There might be. You think there might be something up there, whether that be a chair or there's something up there. You don't know whether you can get a lasso.
I will attempt to lasso this.
Okay.
I stand on versus shoulders, which
Yeah.
is 5 feet up,
I'm 6 feet tall.
6 feet tall. Well, I'm not standing on the top of your head, unless you're cool with that, in which case I'll take the extra feet. And then I can jump 11 feet usually, and my mirthful leaps gives me an additional 7, so that's 18. That's 23 feet in the air that I can jump with that.
Okay.
Can I get up there and grab the top?
Roll just a straight dexterity check. More to see whether you can activate your mirthless leap while balancing
That
on
is
somebody else's shoulders.
a natural 2 for a total of 5.
So you get there and you're just not particularly stable. You've never mirthful leaped off somebody else's shoulders.
That's fair.
So Vash is standing there and you're up there, but you're unstable as you start. As soon as you start to get, you can see, you just can't latch on. And what you see is that there are 2 big chairs and a table.
Do I see a door?
Yeah, there's a door
Okay.
behind the chairs.
In that case, as I'm falling, I'd like to scream, "Ah, my hubris!" Do I take falling damage?
Roll
That's not the
That's
Not
10.
good now.
Yeah.
Go on.
What do you
A
roll?
10.
You take 1d4. It's all cushioned and you fall off.
Oh, a 1. Finally, my rolling of 1s has paid off.
So you don't take significant damage. You damage your pride more than you damage yourself.
Pride.
Correct. Yeah. Okay. So that's the only bit of this room that you can't currently
We
get
need
into
access
unless you want another go.
From my
Are you
very
trying
comfortable
to
position on the ground,
Okay.
I'll reload as a chair and some tools. Get some chairs in.
Roll and tap and disadvantage.
Can I, if I describe what's up there, can they have not disadvantage since they know where they're aiming this stuff? A little to your left.
That's actually not too bad. That's like, so 14.
Okay. So you
That's right.
so you throw up
Disadvantage is the
and
best.
you definitely hit something, and it's definitely caught on something when you pull it.
That's encouraging.
Oh boy!
Kill the roll, boy.
Boy!
Hello.
Boy! Boy! That's you.
Get a rope. Climb it, please. You'll be
Okay.
fine.
You'll be fine.
You have my utmost confidence, but
Okay.
make sure it's
How
only.
much you weigh?
Okay, Mr. Zephyr.
Acrobatics.
Should we all get on?
Yeah, I was going to say, I'll get up off the floor and,
Do-
using from experience,
Yeah.
go stand underneath.
Do we use my tape as like a casting?
I'll get in on that.
So as the lightest member of the party tries to climb up, there's like it pulls and you can hear this scraping, this
No,
chair
we
No
have
need.
taken my tape.
sliding
where-
across the platform above you.
Vash will sheath his sword, put his hands on the wall, and climb straight up it.
Oh, you-
I can spider climb. I
Well,
Surely I've got
forgot.
something
I just go straight below.
I'm loving the way that you've watched. You tried to
You
get
couldn't
You've literally given him a lift to get up. And it's like, oh, fuck it.
Did you forget this is something you could do?
Maybe straight up.
There you go.
And I secure the rope and
We
Okay.
used my
Call it
tape
one up.
as a, the
How do you
firemen
do that?
that hold the thing.
I literally forgot to do that.
What a time
You
to
can
do
put
it.
out your handkerchief to do that.
Yeah.
level
You were
3 I
trying
can
to
walk
take
up
any
walls.
damage, you're just like,
And stand upside down and see.
Keep my hat
Oh,
off.
that's
We were just
before-
being careful. We were
Yeah,
just
just
being
stand and see
cautious.
upside down.
Is that because you're a Danfir or?
Yeah, Danfir. It's an Danfir ability.
there you go.
I can, like, Naruto walk across a roof next time.
I've got very little. I'll do anything anyone says.
Creatures
I'll
with
try.
claws.
So
Because I
you
can have that as
are.
well.
Such an impressionable child.
I'll do whatever
There's
you
no spines.
So you are
And
on
you're
the
on too, they're tall.
Vash. You are on the
Anything
top
that
of this
can
platform,
climb,
looking
monkeys.
down into this
I'll
pit.
keep those on.
And this
Parrot.
is clearly a viewing chamber. This is clearly where people would sit. There's this amazing carved ornate chair and a sort of carved almost like a suit of armour, and then a sort of wooden table next to it. So it's almost like sitting in a suit of armour, this sort of throne. And it would appear that somebody sat up here and watched.
I'd secure the rope in such a way that everyone can climb up.
Okay. So anybody who wants to climb up can make a acrobatics check with advantage.
Okay.
To see if you get that.
That's a dirty 20.
Yep, you're right.
That's not good.
17.
Yeah, you're right.
19.
Is this like I said? What's up there? I'm just yelling at these guys. Like,
Yeah.
do I need to go up there?
There's
There's doors.
There's other doors. I think it leads to another area of the complex.
So there are two. There's a double set
The more
of doors
important
up here.
What's
Do
the
you
difference?
open
Just
the
like a-
door first, see if there's something before I walk up
Yeah.
here?
These doors are
I'll
locked.
kill myself.
Little boy.
Would you like to ply your trade on these doors, please?
Oh, yes.
Key, please.
I'm waiting for the next nat 20, like.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Go on. Channel your inner Arwen.
Who's this island? 15?
You think you can you manage to unlock this and sort of double doors. They have like this, and there's a lock on one side and then a lock swing on the other side. You manage to get one of them open, but you can't actually open the door from that position. So there's another lock, and you've not managed to get that one open.
Okay.
Perhaps
I'll
some
try.
brute force.
I'll
I was
headbutt it.
gonna. Okay,
We
you
don't
don't
really
have
like to be.
This will work eventually if I keep trying.
to do that. I mean, I was gonna try and pick the lock as well.
You got the ghost
But
bang.
sure,
That's
we'll just go with brute force.
Can I do I have advantage on that attack, or is it just, do I want me to roll damage, or just an attack, or what am
Just
I?
roll an attack.
That's a 5 for the attack. Does
So
that mean?
you missed the lock completely.
Alright.
I'll
It's a wooden door. Can I bash through a wooden door?
You bash the door, the door just goes, and the little bit where the lock is, where you think actually this is the bit we need to try and break or hit, is like above your head, and you kind of get bottom of the door and hit it, the lock is just there.
I would tell them to do it out of the way. I would attempt to hit it with the hammer. I got
Okay.
12 for that.
To hit,
Yeah.
roll damage.
Door
If that
can't
fails, I'm going to try and head back.
have- I was going to say the door shouldn't have much
No, maybe
information on it.
7.
As far as I'm concerned, I'm a portable battering ram, and
That
if I hit a
is,
door enough, it's great.
6 damage.
Okay, so you managed to crack the other lock. You managed to force the door open.
Can I headbutt it again?
If you want to, you can hold up a flame.
Wonderful. That's a 20 this time.
The
Dirty
door
20.
flies open,
And you headbutt the floor.
and you go barreling through the other side.
Amazing.
And there's a flight of steps in between, so you just manage to catch yourself at the top of the flight of steps like this without throwing yourself all the way down.
Bash is going to stand there
About time.
and rub his forehead like this, and in Elvish,
Mm-hmm.
because he speaks Elvish, will sit there and mutter and go, "He's like that to get me to kill."
Okay.
Is there something useful up there?
You might want to come up here now.
Fine. 7.
Isn't it with advantage?
You got advantage.
You got advantage.
I got advantage.
You've got advantage because he's a rope.
7.
You're hanging on the rope with your old spindly arms
We-
going. "Fuck
We'll try and
this
pull him
shit."
up with the rope.
I'd like to wander
You-
off
you-
away from the party.
Okay. Which
Because
way would you
I've got
like?
no
Let's
loot
try
so
and
far, so
pull
I'd like
him up
to
with the rope.
Okay.
That's a
Going down the
strength.
steps.
Oh yeah, I'll go down the steps and just have a look what's down that corridor. So.
That's a natural 19 plus
For
2
pulling?
for
Ooh, it's
pulling him
box.
up.
You get pulled up by a girl. There we go. So you're now at the top.
Thank you,
So-
fair maiden.
So what you can see is you can see
Follow
a
on, go boy.
corridor going off straight in front of you. You can see a door on the north wall, and you're pretty confident that that would lead you back into the crypts. You think that
There's a
that's
secret door in
probably going back round in a circle in terms of where you have to be.
I'm gonna not go that way.
You don't even just want to make sure that that's what it is. No, you never know. It could be a closet.
Could be.
I would investigate that door.
I'll leave that
There
for
might
other
even be a
people.
chest in there.
So
Yeah,
what,
I'll kick myself if that happens.
what you can see down to the south, which is very ugly looking tile, is, and you can see it would just appear to be a depression in the clay of the floor, and it's really obvious. You can see it from the junction. The floor does not look
What's
stable.
further down the corridor?
Further down the corridor, you can see some more steps going down, and then appearing to go off round the corner.
I would like
And that
to-
goes right across this goes right across the tap. And it's about 10 feet north and south. There's a depression in the back.
I would like to check the door or something like that. Just to check her.
So you're going to open this door.
Yeah.
And you look through and you can see that goes back up to the crypt at the bottom where you found Rose's crypt. And in your head, Quinny, you can hear Rose going, "We have to find Walter. We have to find Father. We have to get on with this. We have to find what we came here for.
I'm
Come
looking, I don't
on,
know which way to
come
go."
on."
I would
And then
mention
Colleen, you can see another door further down that corridor.
I would mention that there's another door, and then I would go back into this area.
I'll stick with Harleen and look at the other door.
Okay.
I'm gonna jump over there.
If Zephyr's doing that, I'll follow him by crawling across the wall. So I
Okay.
touch the pressure.
Okay.
I'm gonna use a keyboard. So I jump
So you're coming this way.
26 feet.
Okay.
Damn.
And you're going this way, Spider.
That's pretty
Yeah,
long.
I'm gonna
long jump
crawl
for
across
an
the
old
wall.
man.
And you're going this way.
I'm a bit jealous.
Yeah.
And you're going that way.
Ooh,
Oh, what's that?
they look
I'll
nice.
let connect anyway to find.
So you can,
I reckon
as you come around that corner towards that door, and you've spider climbed across. So as you spider climb across and you jump,
I'll go on this wall here.
yeah. So you both know that appears to be a pit. So that looks like it's a big pit, and as you spider climb up over the top of it, it looks like that used to be flush with the floor, so it would have been completely hidden, and has got huge, great spikes sitting in the bottom of it, and it's dug down to maybe 10, 15 feet with huge, big spikes sitting in the bottom of it, so you probably wouldn't want to fall in it. And there's certainly what appears to be a skeleton going over
Is
the
this
spikes as you
Always been
go
able to
down
walk on
there.
walls.
Someone else. So that's on their side.
That's
So that's in that grey square.
square.
Okay.
So it looks like there was a pit there.
So
And
there
as you
is-
come around this corridor, you can hear this chanting getting louder and louder. And as you turn the corridor and as you jump over the pit, out of the floor rise these horrible things, ghostly undead creatures. Roll for initiative. And everybody can roll for initiative, and then you can tell me where you were heading.
Varus is back, bitches. That was a neck one.
No, I got that one as well.
Let's say
So
17,
you
17 for me.
so
Rolled my
17.
Evervalvis. Rolled a 4.
It's okay, I've got you guys coming.
You guys can.
One-
Watch them all be cursed.
One of the 140 of them was the
Oh,
one.
no, the 140 is when I'm DMing. I have another set that's going.
And watch them be just as cursed.
Yeah.
Ethically, 14.
Yep.
Is that a 1?
It's a 4.
Oh,
Rolled a natural 1 and then plus
a 4. Okay. Okay.
21. I rolled in that.
Okay, 21. And who else? Bash.
23. I rolled an 18, but that's why. I'm dex based.
You get 15 for Zephyr. What was that?
3.
3?
Yeah.
Oh,
Net
God,
bonus is back.
Winning, sorry.
17.
So coming out of this floor, there appear to be a whole collection of what you would know as rooms just coming up out of the floor. Bash, you get to go first.
Right. How far away is the closest one to me?
So the closest one to you is about 10 feet, 11 feet.
Okay, I will point my short sword at it. As a bonus action, I will cast Hex and give it disadvantage on strength checks.
Okay.
And I will run in and attack it. With a dirty 20 to hit.
Hits. So
that is 7 slashing damage and 2 necrotic damage.
And comes out, spins around and starts moving towards you.
Well, I ran up to it.
Okay. Malphite, you're up.
I would have gone around the corner with them.
Yep, okay.
So
So you follow these guys down here.
yeah.
So you're
I'll
standing
attack.
at the top of this corridor. So you're aiming at this dude down
Yeah.
here. Okay.
Yeah. And I'll do. So now I'll just do. Yeah, second fire. So he's got to do a 10 seconds, right? Just- So it's 6.
They might not fail their dex
Yes,
save.
if
They
what's
might
the
not
DC?
fail the dex save. You never
14.
know.
it's a DC 14.
That's the dex save.
So
You might not. Dodges out of the way and
Okay.
again turns and
if
hisses
they then I don't do that.
and starts
Oh,
to move and starts to move towards you down the turns to look at you.
It's a problem with clerics that have an attack cantrips.
Yeah.
Also,
So next one up. So
and guiding bolts over.
So as you're watching, you can see right in the far distance. You can see right in the far distance another ghoul starting to come up out of the floor right down at the bottom of the corridor, and it's just starting to move up into joining everybody else. That's all it does, isn't it?
Are there any 20 feet or more away from me?
20 feet or more.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. So, that's nice.
Control.
Thank you.
Oh, awesome. The nearest one's 20 feet away. Quinny, as a bonus action, would like to drop down onto all fours and wild shape into a giant goat. Which is called a Sangazor. It's in, like, if you're fine with that, it's in my B section. It must be from one of the newer books.
Yep.
And then I will take a ram attack at that closest one.
Okay.
And because it's more than 20 feet away, I get the creature has a charging feature. So
Yep.
if it can make a DC, would it get knocked prone before or after I roll to attack? If I'm using charge.
I think it's if the attack hits.
If it's the attack hits, isn't it?
It doesn't actually say if the attack hits.
Oh,
It
what
says
does
if
it
the so it says if the Sangazor moves at least 20 feet straight towards a target. Oh, sorry, it does say and then hits it with a round attack.
Yeah.
My bad.
No, right.
Cool. So that is
What
5.
moves we can do
So
CR
that is
after
a
third.
Okay.
15.
That's CR.
That hits.
Amazing. So then that is 2d4 plus 3, and then
Puts it on it. What?
sword dice.
Oh, more dice.
So that is. Can it make a DC 13 strength save for me?
Yeah.
It takes 44.
Like it fails the strength save.
It takes 9 bludgeoning damage and is knocked prone.
Sweet.
So turn into. And yeah, I'm a large creature as well.
Okay.
Meh.
That's
It doesn't like that. It's lying on the floor there. And it gets to go. It gets to go next. So you come down here. So you charge after. I'll leave it there. So it's going to turn and try and hit you with a bite. So it's going to. So 19.
That is definitely a hit, but I've got resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical attacks. I'm guessing it's not magical.
It is not magical. So.
There's no
You're
point.
officially out of tank when you watch.
You know this. You know the
I
tank.
think
So-
this has got a effect.
So it rolled 12, so that was 6.
Lovely.
It's a barbarian goat.
I have 33 HP as of 2.
Oh, nice.
So it sinks its teeth into you and hisses.
That's a hell of a bonus up from
Okay.
19.
And ethically, you're up.
Alright, I'm gonna move.
Just
So I
so you
need, I'm not even in the junction, so I need to go next.
I'm assuming that you can say where you
What's
move
this?
to. You're up the top. Next, so you can move with anybody else before this starts.
Yeah.
So who did you follow?
Well, who do I always?
Yeah,
Did you jump the pit?
I
Oh.
jump the pit.
So
So
they
there's a
jumped
big
the
pit
pit.
there that
Did
raised
you try and
there's a
jump
big
the
hole.
pit?
I
Or
probably-
did you sigh and
Run
go,
around.
Mr. Patterson, that's not fair?
Yeah, I would have like tried to like a piggyback or something like that.
I could have piggybacked him across wall
You
climb.
could
Okay.
have thrown me across.
Like
Like,
Wall
a
climb.
I could like throw in a
giant
teddy bear.
octopus.
I will allow it. You're
Those
okay.
two
So,
ones.
there you go.
Okay, and I'm going to that one. Right, that
Yep.
one there. I'm
Yep.
going to attack it.
Go for it. So you'll be around to attack this one here.
Yes,
Yeah.
and because he's within
Yes.
a few feet, I
Would you
get
get sneak
I
attack?
get sneak attack.
Harley, you're up next.
So with sneak attack, do you actually have to roll
Someone's
a hit
level
or is it
So
automatic?
sneak attack applies on one hit in a
Oh,
turn.
so based on moon pool.
Yeah, so
No,
first
it's
attack
just
that
getting
hits, that's you can apply sneak attack.
Right, so I'm going to go double dagger attack,
Okay.
and I have one is a 23 and the other one's an 11.
Okay, so the 23 hits.
Okay.
When you launch it,
So
transform to beast with
That will also include the sneak attack roll as well.
You ignore that.
Yeah,
So
so you can do
most of my presentations. Also,
12
yes, true double
Okay. Is that including the sneak attack?
That's including the sneak attack.
Okay, so you go ploughing into this one that attacked Vash, who's just parted you across. It is absolutely reeling. This thing looks very hurt,
And
and it's.
can I use my, because I have cunning act on the front.
Yeah,
I'm getting used to it's like right
you
now,
are.
I've
It's a
already
new
used-
bite. Yeah,
I've got my page open.
yeah.
I'm going to use my bonus action
Okay.
to what is this engagement?
It's where you can
So you
disengage from
can-
combat and run away without producing an opportunity attack. Okay, I'll use
So you
that.
can move out of combat range.
Yeah, that's what I'll
You're
do.
right, right.
Yes.
Maybe you did your sneak attack. if
I
someone
already
is
did.
within-
Yeah.
Yeah, it's new.
Sneak
Sorry.
attack.
I was just
I
trying to
didn't-
both
I
of
didn't
them.
hear
Yeah,
that.
no, it was on it.
I'm
So
learning
you
all
moved
this new
back.
stuff. It's
You
something
moved
you should
back.
get.
Okay.
Oh, moves are good.
Holly, you're up.
I would get within 10 feet of the
As long as you've got an ally.
So you can
You
move
get
down.
advantage on
yeah,
everything.
I'll come down within
Yep.
10 feet
Yep.
and use my whip to attack.
Okay. Attack.
My die goes.
That's
That's
14 hits.
That'll keep you going. That'll keep you going for level 6.
that's only 7 damage.
That'll keep you
Okay.
going for 6.
So you cleave into it with your hammer and
No, no, this is with my
sorry, with your whip. So you reach out and you whip at it, and you sort of almost it's definitely solid. It whips around it and pulls off an arm that's closest to you, and this thing howls though. Ah! And you've got this sort of whip with a sort of ghoulish arm hanging off it. Okay, and that one looks like it is nearly dead. Zephyr, you're up.
I am going to hobble along and then just kick this thing in the shins as I walk past.
Did you have advantage? Did you get advantage on that attack because it was not prone?
It's not prone, but I hit that.
Oh.
Yeah, no, she should have done. And no, I didn't. It's now prone with one arm.
It's 19 to hit.
No,
As
so
I
that
kick this guy in the
You go
shins,
to
as I walk
kick
past.
this guy in the face you walk past.
Yeah.
19 hits.
It's like an aim.
Yeah.
Uh,
You don't need to roll damage. You just need to hit it.
okay.
It's
And then I keep walking.
okay. It's dead.
How far away is the next guy?
The next one down
The
is
fixed
the one that these guys are fighting is 10 feet,
Get
and
advantage.
then this guy down here is also 10 feet. This guy's prone.
Yeah, I'm gonna run up to him and sort of,
Stomp.
punch him in the face.
Give him the old Seth Rollins curve stomp.
You have advantage on that.
Because he's prone.
Just give him the curve stomp.
Okay, it's this one.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That's 16.
Hits.
And that one is. Ooh, nice thing. For 6.
And
Just
that
like
one,
punch this guy in the face.
and this one also, as it's like with its one arm lying prone over, and you kick it in the face and and just lies there, also dead.
And I'm gonna. Hang on. How far have I got? 5 to. I can still move to fucking anywhere.
So you
50
can
feet of
see another one
50.
straight ahead of you over here,
Only
and then you can see
Well, unless I use
3 coming up from this corridor down here.
So I'm gonna just walk over to this last one.
Which this one here,
Yeah. And
Yeah?
Just stare in the face.
nice.
Just don't open the shop.
Amazing.
So
It's
Don't
just
know
like
as much.
just stroking
random
my
walk
beard,
up to this
just
one.
like kick one dude in the shins, punch another one. They both die. He just goes over and just looks at this third one like, why are we doing this?
okay, so who's up?
Just keep rolling the dice.
Sorry.
Don't scare.
So these 3 down here are just going to try and move up towards you on their turns. So they're just going to move forward. One's going to move up and round towards Bash and Ethidwig. One's coming up towards a giant goat.
Man.
And this one's coming round. So Seth is now boxed in by those 2. And we are back to Bash's
But I will, as a bonus action, move my axe to the ghoul closest to me.
Yep.
It's up for an hour.
Yep.
And I'll run up and slash it. That's 15 to hit.
Hits.
Fall. That is 10 slashing damage with 5 necrotic damage.
That is hurt. So as you slice into it, this thing's like, and there's horrible black red blood pouring out from it. Malachi.
Has this one here taken any damage yet?
No. The one next to it is dead. I'll
Yeah.
check the dead guy's actions.
I'm gonna walk up to just behind Harley, and I'm gonna use my spell scroll for spiritual weapon.
Ooh, nice. Okay.
Very nice.
So I roll spiritual. So is that
I
this?
think you just do an attack.
Yeah. Is that on the spell?
Well, this spell scroll, because it's of your class, you should just be able to cast it.
Yeah, and it's spiritual weapon, so I don't actually think you need to roll anything. I think you just cast a spiritual weapon.
Okay. It says on hit though. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
so
the weapon
spiritual weapon,
Yeah, so-
the weapon
so
will appear
like-
when you cast, and then you can roll from this
Proficiency.
melee attack.
Proficiency plus your wisdom modifier, because that's your attack,
Yeah.
spell attack. Proficiency wisdom modifier.
Okay.
So 2 plus whatever your wisdom is.
So where are you casting your spiritual weapon? Behind it, next to it?
next to it. Okay, so that's
Maybe
a
other for now.
22.
Hits.
So 1d8 radiance.
So it says 1d8 plus your spellcasting ability.
1d8 plus 1.
So that's 11 damage.
It's a good subclass.
Nice. Okay, so what does your spiritual weapon look like when you
Yeah, I
cast
wasn't sure like what my god is.
What you can make your spiritual weapon look whatever you want it to.
I'm gonna make it for at least this one, like
Yeah.
one of those like arcs from like ancient Egypt,
Okay.
like the circle and
Okay.
the
So it looks like a giant ankh.
yeah.
Oh, no, sorry,
Um,
Anchor's
and-
Kabeshi's been sword.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you get it and whack. So with your spiritual weapon, you whack this thing with holy bludgeoning, and it reels back a bit. Okay. The ghoul to the right of Zephyr gets to attack with its bite. So it's going to try and bite at you. 9 to hit. Zephyr.
Zephyr.
9 to
Oh.
hit.
That shouldn't hit you.
Shouldn't hit.
No,
No. So it lunges at you, but you're just too quick and you dodge out of the
Quick for an old man.
Pretty quick for an old man. Holly, go on.
Well, I would see.
Didn't I go before Harley?
Oh no, you did. Sorry. Giant go, sorry.
Cool.
That's my
I just asked because you'll get advantage of it.
Yeah, no, because you were pro, yeah.
I will take the opportunity attack and I want to back up 20 feet so I can charge this one again.
Okay. So you take the
Because
opportunity
I've got the
attack.
hit points, I'll be fine.
Harlan's going to go for the one that's after.
Somewhat.
So that's 17 to hit.
That definitely hits me.
So it lunges at you with its claws. And does copy 6 slashing.
Have you halved that? No. Wonderful. I'll back up 20 feet.
Yep.
Slashing feet, and then
Yep.
I will run in for a charge.
Yep.
That is 14.
Hits.
Lovely. For a total of. That is 14 bludgeoning damage.
And you flatten it. So as you charge into it, you charge and it goes down, and you charge straight over the top of it and just trample it under your and you're going to be
Well, that's one way of knocking it
We've got a
funny.
goat curb stop.
So you just stamp it into the earthen floor.
Amazing. That'd be 40 feet of movement, so never mind. I don't have anything else to do.
So you came back and went back again.
Yeah.
Yeah. My bad. I've lost my combat tracker. I think it's Ethigway then Harley.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
So Ethigway.
Now,
Beat Harley.
where,
Yeah. And then back
Would-
as well.
this one here next to the torch.
So there's this one
Yeah,
is
that
now
one's
dead.
moved on.
That one's being trampled into the clay.
And then this
This
one,
one is looking.
the one closest to you.
Sorry, the one closest to you is
I've done some.
sick.
I've done some pretty significant
How
damage.
close would you say that would there be anyone that is close enough to do?
I'd be within 5 feet because I'm a large creature
Yeah,
currently.
so you've got Quinny on one side, and Bash moved in to attack it. So
Yeah, that's
he's
just
also
the
within 5
closest one.
feet.
No, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah,
I'm
then
actually,
you take
I'm actually taking up
Then I'm going
force.
to move and do it.
It's standing in the middle in a Scooby-Doo-esque way, going because the giant goat has just trampled it.
That's going to be big.
It's not.
It's a lot of noise.
Just two. So they do 2 dagger.
Sounds like
It sounds like
No,
it.
it sounds
So I got,
It's because of all those stairs.
I got an 18 and a 16.
both hit.
Oh, splendid.
Now get sneak attack on the
I
first attack.
thought the 9 was 6, and
Yeah,
that's on like that's not good, but anyway.
yeah, both hit.
Marvelous. So that would be
24 plus 26.
No, 24 was 1d6.
I'm going to get 1d6.
Yeah,
1d6
I
level
thought
2.
it was
Yeah,
It goes up to 2
At
at
level
level 2
one.
level 3.
Ah,
You're level 2.
no, it's level 3.
You're level 3 at the second dice.
Yeah, at this stage. it's
And then again at level 5, then again at level 7, I think.
According to this book I'm religiously using right now, because I have no idea how to play most, I'm learning along the way.
I heavily research what I'm playing.
22.
before I play it, so I know.
And 22
But I still
damage.
think it's 5
Yes.
You absolutely
I'm so used to
shred
shit
it.
out of
It's
that.
like hung, drawn, and quartered. So as this thing rises up, looking worse for wear after that, you just absolutely dice it. It's like putting it into a meat process. So just go.
As high as I can reach it anyway.
High to
Just
degree.
as
So
long as
from
you can
about
push what you
halfway
should
down,
have on
you shredded and the top half of it
Do it,
was
do
And then
full.
the vampire now. The vampire
Yeah,
wants
it
to
would fall to the floor, absolutely dead. Just make.
stand up, so it's
I can
fully
use
dead if they fall out.
Yep. But you still got movement.
I can still use my cunning action as well.
Yeah.
To what's that red square with the screwdriver?
That's spiritual weapons.
Oh, okay.
No, you don't have your cunning action. You use your bonus action, you use your
bonus
second
action
for the dagger attack.
No.
No.
Yeah, you don't. He
No,
doesn't have
that's
to attack.
Yeah, no, but it's daggers, so they're light weapons.
Yeah, 2-weapon fighting, you still use your bonus action.
You don't need to weapon. There you go.
No,
It's just a standard attack action for 2 weapons.
You can't do 2 attacks when you've only got 1 attack action.
Yeah, you can. That's what the whole point of a light weapon is.
No way.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why I chose daggers.
So I can use a short sword and a dagger and attack twice.
That's the whole reason you. Yeah. Otherwise, why would you ever take a light weapon? Because it does so much damage. When you take the attack action and the attack with a light melee weapon you're holding in one hand,
Yeah,
you
I'm
can use
gonna
one.
use it.
I'm so sorry, I'm wrong. You can use a bonus action to attack with a different
It's
weapon.
a bonus
My
action.
sincere apologies. You're correct.
You two rules
I've been playing it wrong the entire time.
It's a bonus. I remember that because if you got
I don't.
Two
Are you
attacks-
rolled with
2
mine?
attacks with
Sorry?
Anyway,
finesse
what would
weapon,
you like to do?
you do 2
Have you
attacks
any
and then a
movement?
3rd attack is
Yeah,
a
I'll
bonus
just
action.
move closer
Yeah,
to the
right.
action.
That
Okay,
sucks.
coming in.
So you
Okay,
would be
Harley,
harassment
you're
would
up.
be shit.
I
Oh,
would
that's shit.
go
Be like, oh,
within
best to use bonus action.
5 feet of the one on the left of
Yep.
Zephyr.
Yep.
And attack
So I'm
with
using my
my
bonus action for
warhammer.
X.
Okay.
10 and
That lets me use my bonus action.
6.
So 10 misses, 6 misses. Sorry.
So when you get
Yeah.
multiple attacks,
That's what I can do.
That's all you can do. So this
Offhand weapons, your second attack.
this bull gets to attack you, and it's going to try
And you have to
and
take
claw you.
2 of the fighting to put your ability on for
what is it?
with a bonus attack.
So it's going to lash out and try and claw at you.
You take 2, you use 2 hit points.
Which
Too long.
fails to do miserably.
Too
So as
one
it
hand.
launches out to claw you, it
One
just,
hand, I don't
it's
think
like,
one
it
hand.
comes within like a foot of your face, so
But you
it's
still
from
want
miles off. Okay,
It just stops you.
and we are Zephyr.
Deciding this. And both those creatures still alive? Is anyone
Yeah.
like?
Both of them are unhurt.
Oh, well, this
Oh, not for a while.
Not for long. Zephyrs here. He strokes his pen. Picks up his stick, spins it around a couple of times, and just grabs it with two hands and just jabs and like trying to get an eye socket of like one of these people.
Okay.
I just realized diagrams have a lot of chaotic, which is absolutely true.
Yes, I are. Yes.
It's
They're just
a 6 to hit.
So you try really hard to skewer this ghoul's eye socket with your cane, and it just seems to go straight through its head, but without hitting it at all. Just the side of its head disappears into vapor and just reforms slightly further away to the other side.
I just sort of like do this and I'm like, oh, that's a bit annoying. Whack. And I try and hit it. That's an 18 to hit.
That hits.
And it's 5 damage.
20 hits and one left, one right.
The one on the
Furthest away.
Yeah, just
That's
smash
one
it
you
over
have
the
to
head.
hit.
But like that.
Okay.
a solid shot.
Right, so it's going to attack you back. So it's going to try and claw you. Um, 10 to hit. So it launches out with its claws and just raises past it, misses. And these two are pretty fucking new stuff. Bash
Right. I'm going to, because I've got the sword this way,
yes,
put the handle of the sword in my teeth,
up over the top.
and I'm going to go up over, like do like a half corkscrew as I go over and
Yeah.
drop down from the roof right next to Zephyr.
Okay. Nice. That's fine.
I'm just going around the roof,
How do you swipe on that?
I've got it permanent.
Yeah.
It's permanent. And at level 3 I can walk on walls
Not that this is
and stand there upside down on a roof.
But anyway,
It's cool.
go on then.
And I will transfer my hex to the one in between Zephyr and Harley.
Yes.
And voila!
It's Harleen for copyright reasons. You can actually hear the DC noise.
That's a 19 to hit.
Hits. I really don't think they're actually listening.
Google's always
8/into necrotics.
Okay.
Big Ben's always listening.
So there's this hissing, curling noise that definitely hit, and it's looking pretty sad and unhappy about
Half
things.
corkscrew up
Malachi,
the
you're
wall,
up.
onto the roof, and then
So you
drop.
can attack and spiritual
Right next to
weapons
Zephyr.
attack.
How long's is 1 minute?
So spiritual weapons concentration
10
for
rounds.
1 minute for 10 minutes.
Not 10
And
minutes,
to
6
move
minutes.
20 feet and attack.
1
with
minute to
bonus
10 rounds.
action.
Okay.
Each round 6 seconds.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So,
So it's up, it can move 20 feet and attack on your bonus action, and attack
You
bonus.
probably get it from there.
so
I use spiritual weapons.
yeah,
It's a good spell.
I'll
That's
attack the
Spirit
one
Guardians in
closest
here.
to the weapon first.
Okay, so you're going for this one?
Yeah. That's 11.
That misses.
Okay.
Okay, so now you can attack.
Okay. I will. Oh, let's have another crack at Sacred Flame
Okay.
on the same one.
Okay.
So he'll do a dex saving throw for 10.
Oh, ugly. He crit fails his dex save. So he, as the sacred flame comes out, what's your sacred flame look like?
Just like a beam kind of coming down with fire inside it. So it's like
Okay.
a cone of light with flame coming through the door.
As
As
the cone of light seems to come from the ceiling of this clay tunnel, this ghoul looks up and instead of it just is transfixed and just goes, as opposed to moving out of the way, it just stands there. So
Just
it's
melts
crit,
its face off.
so he crit fails, so you roll damage.
So
He's just
does that
gently
double it
poking.
or something? Or?
Um,
I rolled a 3 for damage, but yeah.
so, you can double the damage, he crit fails, he's just standing there gently poking.
Just melts his face off.
So crit hit, so that would be 3 plus what's the maximum damage you can deal?
8.
8, so it'll be 8 plus 3. That's 11. That's a lot for a sacred flame. So this clearly intelligent ghoul is basically standing there bathed
Getting nuked.
in holy light, gently frying, and you can see it. You can see
Told you.
almost steam coming off it as it's going.
Guess what? Not that compelling.
And it's sort of hissing in this holy light, and it's clearly very nearly dead, just standing there.
It's hanging on.
Okay. It does. It is surrounded, and it does get, or it does try to get an attack off, and it is going to try and bite Bash.
Go for it.
You're no longer up on the.
No, I'm on the floor.
Okay. Oh, 18 to hit.
Oh, that just hits. That's literally my armor class.
So
Armor of Shadows and High Dex are still doing
okay,
That's
so
right.
as it's coming out, it sort of lunges out of this flame, and it's smoking and it stinks, and it lodges its teeth
Don't kill
into your arm and does 10 damage.
10. Damn.
Yeah, you don't want to get hit by it. Okay, Quinny, you're up.
I will back up 10 feet and then charge the ghoul nearest to me.
Okay.
Which that gets me to 20 again.
Yep.
Wonderful. That's 17 and 5.
Yep, that hits.
Make a strength save for me.
It is unable to save. It is on fire, and its teeth have just fallen out, and its teeth are sort of hanging in to Bash's arm. But as you hit it, its teeth are left behind. Just the rest of it, the rest of it is just trampled
And that is 16
into
bludgeoning.
the ground. It's absolutely mashed and trampled into the ground, and its teeth sort of fall out of Bash's arm.
And I'll use the last bit of my movement if I can to go over so I'm nearest to the one at the end. Because it sinks some damage into the wild shape because that doesn't have any long-term consequences.
Ethelbert.
Can I even get in?
Yeah. You can go through as long as you don't end your turn in that way. You can go.
That's
You
one.
can squeeze
one
past them. You're little. You can run between their legs.
Under the legs.
Okay.
You do like a running knee slide or a running between
It can be
it.
small, so that,
Just
you can occupy
slash
the
it.
same space as me when I'm a goat because I'm a
Yeah.
large creature.
You can like
under
hide
my
under
legs.
his leg.
You could also ride the giant goat, which would be
Oh.
hilarious.
You can do a running knee slide straight underneath, and then slash at the damn thing as you go past.
Okay.
Yes, I'm going to do... How damage is this one?
This one's pretty okay at the minute. You've got a lot of allies. It's very disconcerted that it's just been approached by a giant goat whose hooves are coated in the blood of its previous friends and allies.
I'm gonna... You guys are right. I've just been reading up about the double dagger attack, so I think I need to detect the feat of dual wielder
Yeah.
when I that's how I'll be able to do double dagger attack. So I can't do it at this level, but when I get to it.
Or the two-weapon fighting style from a fighter or
Yeah,
some
it's a
sort of
couple of
class.
ways.
It's a couple
Yeah.
of ways.
But right now
Or you
at
can
level
just
2,
use up your bonus action.
yeah,
use
I
it,
can't.
or use it your bonus action to do a second dagger. So you
But
can,
you don't add your ability modifier, it's just the 1d4.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So
You're better off just doing one attack and use your sneak attack as extra damage.
that's right. And then I can use my cunning
Into
action
the bolt.
to bolt.
Yes.
Which is what I shall do.
Okay.
Honestly, as a rogue, it's either hide and attack or attack and run.
Or attack and hide.
Yeah, or attack and hide.
Steal stuff.
Yeah.
So that's a 19.
That is-
Your original hiding and stealing creature.
It's
Swiper, no
it's-
swiper.
it's literally stab, run, or shoot, hide.
that absolutely.
Yeah.
That's how you play a rogue. Stab, run, shoot, hide. That's how you play a rogue.
12 damage. And I'll disengage and run away.
Rogues with sneak
Okay.
attack is massive.
So, as you slide in, dodge around the giant goat, and slash at its ankles, you chop off one of its feet. It's now sort of fallen down on the one side, and it's very hurt, and hobbling in the middle. And you pulled back.
Yep.
Into the corner. Holly.
Harley would see this school pretty much surrounded, so she would just go, they've got this, and walk up and investigate the door that's back up that way.
Okay.
They've got it, it's a goal, it'll be dead in the next turn.
So
4
you-
people attacking it.
So if you open that, you open that door, it would appear to be what looks like a dining room. So there's a sink on the back wall, a big table, a sort of heating oven, pots and pans. It appears to be an underground kitchen.
The door opens.
What's in the other door?
You can't see from here, that door is shut.
Yeah, but I was like, do I have enough movement to get there?
You
Not
have
30,
enough.
but
You could dash, you've got enough movement to get just about to you.
yeah, I'll dash to the door.
Okay, and go to open that. Okay, so as you open that door, a huge swarm of rats
My baby!
Well done.
pours out of.
So
First, it's centipedes.
Centipedes now it's rats.
So Harleen is
so
the
it looks like it's
She's the vermin magnet.
okay. So it looks like it's
She's
a
the Daphne.
exterminator.
Really?
You're an exterminator.
Or are they just scurrying past?
No, they're going to try and bite you as they go past.
Vermin magnet.
Of course they are.
Who gets, do you get seats for its abilities?
Yes.
Yes.
So
ASI.
So as they pour out, they try and bite you. 16,
Technically,
That's
it's
just it, yeah.
actually very important.
Yes.
But you have to get an extra.
and they do 5 damage.
To that point, you get to choose one other thing.
And they are not particularly interested in engaging combat. This seems to be more that they were surprised, and they're pouring out their sister and others.
Well, I would sort of jump back and give them room to move on by.
So they're running on. So they are fast and they're running. So they've also run out into the corridor now. So the swarm. So Malachi, as you look around, you can hear a sort of scurrying noise, and all these rats start pouring out of this door. It's like and Zephyr,
Yes.
you're up.
Let's do this.
Ah!
Just like Tiger
I
Claw,
might
punch
do
the
a
face.
Resilient Constitution.
Just he's
Oh,
a
yeah. That's probably even better than J2.
Isn't that
Just that
Now
kind of
what? So
You spend so much
you
time
were-
trying to
you
do
were-
your Kamehameha.
You've
Yes.
done the,
So I can
you've
tell
done
you
the-
got some like rugby, like
you
80
spent down, you
Because
don't
I'm
tie your
wearing
shoes,
stars.
you're taking your shoes off, ready to do your hit.
I wanna take
And while you've been getting all that lined up, Ethidwe on his attack has basically taken a foot off the bottom of it and it's dropped out, so when you actually strike, it goes straight over the top of its head. It would have hit it a bit earlier.
I'm just gonna be like, huh.
It's like the unedited. It's like the unedited Dragon Ball Z, where by the time he's powered up enough, they
That's
go an ad
that's
break.
15 to hit.
Oh, that hits.
I like how I get it.
Yeah, you go for the big like special
Fine attack.
Big
It's
attack.
fine.
This is
Plus
Three
five.
attacks every round.
Five.
but then you can whack.
And that's enough. So the last one, describe the last one goes down.
He's rough slash.
So it's just like a push out, and I'm like, oh, it's beneath me. Just like collapses.
Okay. And so it all goes quiet, and the corridor is littered with blood and the scurrying sounds of rats who appear to be disappearing off. They don't appear to be particularly interested in attacking, they're just scurrying off into the tunnel.
So I start using prestidigitation to clean up the blood on my arm.
I would like to.
In terms of where you are, there's 2 doors to the south.
I was going to say I'd like to stay as a giant goat for
Yep.
as long as I can.
I
still
don't
navigate
suppose
my
anybody
feet.
has
I
any
wanna-
healing magic. do they?
Yeah, I was.
I'm going to say because I can't talk in wild shape. I'd like to go up to the double doors and I would like to headbutt, but I'm assuming I have a bit more.
I'm
sway as a
gonna-
giant goat.
Telepathically speak to you
Both
and
of
be
you
like,
must
what
fly
was
out.
that?
So
I
both
have
of
healer spells I cannot cast because I currently have no fingers.
I'm gonna be casting
that's
healing.
useful.
Whoa!
Whoa, this is
Now
so
that's
wild.
a room.
Ah!
So there's a room. So there's a room.
Brilliant.
Uh,
I will go
healings.
barging in there
So,
As a giant goat.
as a giant goat. Yeah.
Okay.
I've got tolerance to damage. I'm
You
getting
are very fitting in this room as a giant goat.
I was going to say, like, I'm a large creature, but that looks like
that would
double.
be 6.
Yeah,
Awesome. Thank you. Oh,
you're fine. You can
You are
squeeze it.
very welcome.
You're a giant goat.
almost got the right before, but I can do. I
I
can
assume you
get
tried it.
pull my body.
Yeah. The rats have disappeared. Oh,
Cool.
He's
yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing interesting.
I need to save myself an hour.
Okay. So, your spiritual weapon is still up at the minute if you want to move it with you.
Yes.
I think goats
We-
whistle.
Okay. Are you all going in?
Yes, do it. We're all going in.
So I know goats don't whistle, but physically.
No, I don't like a person that lives.
That's fine.
Theoretically,
Okay,
cats
so
can.
as
Like a
you-
person that lives. Like a person that lives.
So as you enter this room, which is scary. You as you come in, it's piling through the door. The only problem with being a giant goat is that as you walked in through the doors, which do admit you walk very close to this on the left hand side. There is what appears to be a dragon, and that dragon is now spewing forth this sort of purple, misty smoke that is now curling around the doors. And what you also heard was that the door behind you has closed and banged shut.
Cool.
Other things that you saw in this room as you came in, there appears to be an altar with a body covered in a sheet drenched in blood, and on the floor appears to be some kind of runic symbol. There is a book on a lectern in the top corner. Up here there's a book open on a lectern, and there's 2 dragon heads mounted on this wall that's now spewing purple smoke. There's
Can I
a
look at the
tall
book?
figure.
Is there a body on that slat?
There is something covered in white sheets, draped in blood, and there is a tall figure standing on this sort of dais up here.
So it's a person.
With a holding an orb.
Is it a living creature?
No,
And the door's closed behind
I
us,
would-
the
did you
doors
say?
are closed behind
I would like to look at the book.
Okay.
I want to, from where I'm standing, take a charge directly south to try to knock out those other doors that are
Okay.
not the ones we came through. The other
Yep,
ones.
that's fine.
I knock them open.
Do you want me to roll anything for that?
You can roll just a d20.
Can I add my strength or anything?
Yep. That's right.
That is kind of sad. But anyway, that is just a 12.
Okay, you literally fly back with bounce back off those doors.
Can
Now
I?
everybody needs to make a constitution
Oh,
save.
sorry about that. Does that? Can I guess that that's probably magical?
Yes.
That's an that one.
You did not think that the doors that you headbutted when you came in were magical. They just felt like doors. They
Right.
just opened.
That is a 10 from me.
Okay.
20 from me.
Okay.
And that one for a total of 3.
For
Brutal.
21.
Hey!
Or 20. Okay.
10.
Okay. So, Marco and Holly fall asleep.
I want to bonk the dragon.
They lie on the floor and just fall asleep. Drop to the ground, fall asleep.
What have you done to us? Guards.
I'm gonna say a goat for the immediate moment, just mostly for the damage resistance, in
Yeah.
case anyone
So I'd like to
gets
look
too
at the
annoyed
piece.
at me.
You go to a good book.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not going to touch. I'm just going to look at the open page.
Can I prep an action?
Yeah.
If anything happens that I can jump in front of to take damage, so like if a fireball shoots out of the walls or something, can I try to be on my toes looking out for anything like that to get in the way of people?
Yes.
Because
Okay.
my wild
So-
shape has significantly more expendable health than
In
everyone
the
else.
book, there is this single line of symbols
Mhm.
in the book,
Which is a room on the floor.
and they do look absolutely like the room on the floor.
Mhm.
I reckon either we need to touch all the rooms on the floor in that order.
Yeah, that sounds okay.
It's a
So
trap and I'll kill them.
written
Right,
above,
let's do it.
written above the symbols that is
Oh, wait.
the phrase.
Don't do this.
Count those amongst thee. Count alpha from alpha. Count omega from omega.
First, last, ends, intersect.
Count those amongst thee. Count alpha from alpha. Count omega from omega. And the symbols you would note are the same as the symbols that are on the wheel on the ground.
So I'm guessing to do one thing, you do it one way. To do another thing, you do it the other way.
Maybe
To start something, you do it one way. To end it, you do it the other way.
my other thought was go touch the sixth symbol, then touch the first one twice and the last one twice. Or one, and then alpha is one, and then the end one twice.
I would like to touch the symbols in reverse sequence.
Yeah.
Okay?
Reverse
Where?
sequence.
In the book?
No, on the
On the
floor.
ground?
Like touch them each on the floor.
Okay, so as you touch the symbol on the floor, and anybody who is within the book notices that the corresponding symbol in the book glows. Okay? However, nothing happens.
So doing it backwards doesn't do anything.
I'm going to drop my wild shape. I'm deeply saddened by this, in case everyone couldn't tell. I will go over and see if I can wake two people before we sleep.
Okay?
And I just got to give it a soft nudge.
Yeah.
They don't
Light
wake
sun
up.
across the face.
Reconcile.
They don't wake
As
up.
the goat.
I could have, but I don't
We
want to
don't.
try. In that
Magic
case, I want to check out the orbs this statue's holding.
Okay?
Does that look like fancy decor or magical puzzle solving?
So,
Why not
I'm gonna
both?
fix it. So as you approach the figure, so there's this statue which is large and hooded and has wings that appear to be bat's wings, almost in prayer over this sort of coral altar. And as you approach, there's smoke inside the orb that he's holding, and as you approach, you can hear hundreds and hundreds of voices in your head whispering, "His gaze burns upon us, but his eyes are always watching. He is the ancient, he is the light. His eyes are always watching." And Rose screams in your head.
I was
So,
going to say, I really think touching this orb is either a fantastic or a terrible.
Totally. So I want to, with the symbols
I
again,
kind of want
I would like to do them in the following order.
Okay.
First,
Yes.
Sixth, second, fifth, third, fourth.
Okay. Everybody roll a Constitution saving throw, other than the people who are
I
in
was
the
gonna
sleep.
say.
That is a 10
We-
roll again.
we're gonna-
Disadvantage.
Well, we're just gonna like get Inception.
Oh, sorry, that's a 13.
Okay.
What's a 7?
Everybody falls asleep.
Welcome to the sleep.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to try and say this way. Maybe let's not touch any more stuff. And I know I'm to blame for some of this, but
23.
You've done away.
Do you have the rhyme that you said about
Yeah.
Can you put that in the group chat?
Yes. If you're still here next week, I can post it.
Unless we
So-
die.
It's possible. So,
Oh, God.
count those amongst thee. Count those amongst thee. Count Alpha from Alpha. Count Omega from Omega.
Can I go up to the door we haven't checked yet and investigate it?
Yeah, so there's a door.
To the north.
Yeah,
The thing is to do it in the correct sequence.
so the door to the north is locked.
can I have a look at this? Does this statue have a face?
Yeah, it does.
Does it look like anything in particular? Like, are the eyes glowing or anything like that?
It just looks like a sort of marble statue.
If I don't want to touch it, but if I raise my hand over this orb, do I sense anything of it?
You feel what? You feel uneasy, like you are being watched.
Can I, if I stand on the opposite side of that statue to the book, can I look at the book through the orb? Or did you say that it's cloudy?
It's just swirling grey mist inside the town. If you look into the orb, all you can hear is voices in your head. He is ancient, he is the land. He is ancient, he is the land.
Do any of those shapes like, because they're not alpha or omega?
No. But they do correspond to.
Is omega the last letter in the picture?
Yes. I'd like to try what I thought. I'd like to touch the 6th letter, the 1st letter, and then the last one.
So the 6th letter,
616.
counting from where?
Yeah. Counting from the circle as 1, the other
Okay.
when it's 1 crosses 2.
Okay. So when you touch,
So yeah, the triangle with a line over the top of it, and the
Yep.
circle, and
Okay.
the double line.
so when you touch the 6th one, so the whichever,
I think it's a triangle.
absolutely. So yeah, the 6th one, it lights up on the ground. It lights up on the floor.
Do you do that when we touch the other ones, or does it just light up on the floor?
Just on the floor.
Alright, that's
Okay.
good.
And then when you touch the first one, roll a Constitution
Go
save.
down. Well, we
All
know
of
the
us?
first one.
All of us?
Every.
I'm a snake.
Including us the first.
Mm-hmm.
God.
That's a
We have
7.
to roll 2.
That's a 7.
Okay.
Are we rolling
Is it 3?
13.
Okay.
But it's like a bone 7.
Do we have to roll with disadvantage firstly?
No.
Okay, cool. That's the 15.
Okay.
So when I did it reverse sequence, 11.
Okay.
It's a 6.
No, I think it's like
Okay,
6
so-
last first. I think
But
that's
there is
six.
6 of alpha. first.
Harleen is starting to wake up. Vash is still awake. Everybody else is still.
So, hang
And
on.
that's a
So-
Everybody. has
So
gone
the
to sleep.
6th
Oh,
symbol,
right.
when I did it reverse order,
Yes.
which one's lit up?
Nothing.
So the 6th symbol
So.
lights up.
The first
so
one, no, the
when,
first one.
So the
No, the
one.
sixth
So
symbol.
when Quinny pressed the 6th symbol.
Yep.
As the first symbol that you pressed, it lit up on the floor and it lit up in the floor.
Yeah, count V is the first one. And then if you want to reverse it, go Omega first, and then
Yeah, but
Arcanus
There's 7
this-
there's 7 symbols. The 6th symbol was first and it lights up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Arcanus
There's 8
sits
symbols.
last first.
No. I say 6th second.
Why 6 seconds?
But we did 6th as the first.
And that worked.
Yeah,
Yep.
so
So
6.
it goes 6.
You went back to
sixth?
first. You went to the first after the 6th.
Yeah.
So 6th second.
Okay. Give it a try.
6th symbol, 2nd symbol.
Okay. So that's the kind of one.
It's
It's just
a
around
The
light.
one with the square with the circle underneath.
Okay. So whoever is who's still awake, you two. So Harleen is waking up. She's very disorientated. I'm not sure what the hell's happening, and you're jumping on the symbols on the ground. So as you hit the 6th symbol,
It lights up.
it lights up, and it lights up on the bottom, it lights up on the ground. You step on the 2nd symbol. Roll Constitution saving throw.
2nd symbol.
Everyone or just those one? 17.
I go back to sleep. 7.
15.
Harleen goes. Oh, what?
Fuck this.
Just goes back to sleep.
15.
Okay, you're still up. You
I'm
start
working
waking up.
Start
Working
waking
with a
up.
bunch of idiots. I'm
You're
sleeping
starting
this
to
off.
wake up. You're kind of becoming immune to this sort of purple sleepy stuff.
Can I stagger over to the book?
Mhm.
If I turn the pages, is there anything else written in there? And from that, there's nothing else written in it? Okay.
6 symbols first.
So
Will it count alpha from alpha, omega from omega?
Yeah, but it says do it in reverse to
So it
undo or
says-
something. It seems
it
like
says
that's why I'm suggesting.
count those are monthly.
Yeah.
Count alpha from alpha. Count omega from omega.
Okay.
1 from 1 is 0, but you can't enter 0 in a system that doesn't please.
Oh, you're still here.
Wait. I'm not. I'm asleep.
Can I do the 6th symbol, the last symbol, and see if that does anything?
Okay. When you
Just
press
one.
the 6th symbol, floor lights up, the book lights up, and you press the last symbol, I assume you do left and right.
Yeah, last symbol.
And roll Constitution saving throw.
Know what it is. Know what it
That's
is.
a nat
Know what it is. Know what it is.
That's a 9.
Okay, you're right.
15.
You're still up.
Oh, this is 7.
You're
I'm still asleep though, right?
I'm sure I know what it is.
Six.
Sure I know what
I got a 10.
You're,
So I'm questioning what is happening. What did I miss?
Can I read again? Or am I
I'm
asleep?
really struggling with that.
You can match again.
So, I reckon it sits from this side, which is that one, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then it's this one. Count alpha from alpha, omega from omega, count these.
So you want
6 and 3.
6th and 3rd.
That's what I reckon it is.
Alright. I'll try 6th and 3rd.
Okay.
But it
So
would have
we
been a
go for
process of
meta-
process of
we go for a
elimination.
meta 6th and 3rd. Okay. So
I would have done it as process of elimination anyway.
So as
That would
you
be
stand
6th
on
one.
the 6th one, it lights up and then the book lights up, and then you step over and stand on the
Third.
3rd symbol, and it lights up, and the book lights up, and you hear all the doors go click,
Ah.
and the doors at the top of
Well
the
done.
room and at the
Well
other
done.
end.
Well done.
For my own
Harley,
knowledge,
Does that mean
just
everybody
look
wakes
around
up?
and go like,
Dave,
Did you say
If
for my own
you,
knowledge.
not immediately,
No,
but
no,
the
six,
smoke
three.
starts to dissipate.
So you
And
count
you're
the.
pretty confident
I think,
that
I
everybody
think-
will wake up.
What did you say you did? Ian?
Six
Six
from
and
the
th- I did
first,
six and
from
third.
left to right, 6 from right to left.
Yeah, so it's count V,
Yeah.
first from
Six.
alpha, then from omega.
So 3 in
So
and then
careful,
3 in.
it's,
Three in and then
it's 6,
three in.
it's
Oh,
6 both times.
Yeah,
So
that's
count it from
clever.
opposite ends.
Yeah, I got it. It
That's
took me a
very-
while.
That's very clever. I like it. So I just try and rouse everybody, like everybody
Okay,
else.
so you gradually, everybody starts going around, all these doors have now opened.
Okay, I'm going up to the
And
top
the
one.
smoke is dissipating, and there's a corridor. So as you wake up, the smoke is dissipating and no longer seems to affect you in any way, shape, or form. The chanting as you come down this way appears to be louder.
I want to touch the door.
Okay.
Oh.
As you touch the orb, nothing particularly happens other than you just feel really strong sense of being watched. That you are.
That's what I was just thinking.
You just you feel a deep coldness. You feel a deep coldness, and these hundreds of voices, and then cutting through those voices, you just hear a single voice say, "Welcome."
Hey, who said welcome?
voice.
Voice from your.
I'm going to say both like in my head and I'll say aloud just to the crystal ball. So, thank you. May I ask with whom I speak?
Silence. And the voices of voices have gone.
There's definitely no
It's
chance of getting
swirling.
right.
As the clouds in this object still?
Yeah, but it's swirling around inside this. Looks like
How
a crystal ball.
big is this crystal?
Oh, small.
I'm going to take it with me.
Okay.
Can I remove it from the statue?
Yeah, well, I'll make a constitution.
I want to have a look
At
up
the
the
worst
north
case,
corridor.
we'll ditch it somewhere.
North corridor.
I'll take
The
it.
So-
Palantirs are dangerous.
Palantir, that's what it's called.
So
That's
the-
following such not
Seeing stones have not been accounted for.
So the north corridor is
You have to jump a lot for the previous
it's,
reference.
is pretty narrow, and right at the very far end of it is lava.
So it's some sort of an escape route. One could theorise.
You could figure out.
Okay. So I'll come back out and I'll tell everyone if there's a ladder in there. We'll go south.
Okay.
Just we've got a way out.
So you headed down to the south. So as you head down to the south, you go. So you
Indiana Jones away. Yeah.
So you go into what appears to be another corridor, and into a room. And this appears to be some form of, I guess, study. There's 2 doors to the north and a door to in the western wall.
I would like to examine the bookshelves.
Okay.
I'd like to examine the books.
See for any books that are of interest.
Actually, examine for any
I shall
gold
read it
objects.
Okay. So there's sort of scattered papers across the desk. So there's some various things. There's some more logbooks in terms of the ones that we found up in the detailing these sort of odd sort of lists and lists of people, just descriptions. There is a picture of what would appear to be the nursemaid, Margaret, holding a baby with Rose and Thorn holding her hands, and that appears to be pinned to the desk with a dagger. Holding a
Dark
holding
and
a
powerful
skirt.
witchcraft.
Holding a skirt.
She's got third
She's holding the baby. And then there's lots of sort of scrawled texts that are pretty incoherent and rambling, but largely going on about youth and
Can I recognise the
Immortality.
handwriting from any of the various letters I was reading through in that spare room?
You mean in the cover?
you can compare them. So you
The
have those
improvised
letters.
stuff.
We still
Yeah,
haven't gone
as
down
I
that
pull out
Yeah.
those, does it look like anyone?
So the handwriting appears to be most similar to Mrs. Durst's. So the letter that she wrote to Mrs. Petrovna about getting rid of the problem in the house, it's most similar to that handwriting. It doesn't look like Gustav Durst's handwriting from those letters, and it's largely just deteriorates into these sort of incoherent words and sort of
Babbling.
babbling.
Teach everything is babbling in your It's a comedy.
Ethically looks at it and there just appears to be some really nasty pictures.
Just a bunch of scroll on
It is not a nice picture.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything in the bookshelves of interest?
No.
I would take this one.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
So there's a door
Oh, yeah, we
in
definitely got it.
the top edge of that room.
I'll head down that corridor.
Yeah, I'm following.
You going down that corridor?
Yeah, I'm following. Yeah,
Not in that room, no. No, in this room.
following.
And so this
Someone should check out the doors.
so this appears to be a sort of an adjacent chamber, dangling, so like a bed chamber that's dangling from the ceiling is it's from a beam over the bed, which is a rotted feather mattress. In the centre of the room is the body of a man who's largely skeletal and is sort of spinning on a rope from the beam in the centre of the room.
I reckon that's probably Uncle Dimmoth that most of them have accounted for.
He's dressed in what appears to be a sort of rotting suit that's sort of hanging off his form that's just about still.
So how is he hanging from it? Or is he tied up with chains to a beam?
No, it looks like rope around the neck.
Oh, right.
How old is this rock?
It's old. It's grey.
The blood in the gladiatorial thing was hundreds of years old, so nothing.
This looks less than hundreds of years old. But
Okay.
this looks more recent. At the bottom of it, so there's this dude hanging from the ceiling, who's old. Other than that, there's a wardrobe and there's a crate. And at the end of the bed is a big sort of Ottoman sort of footlocker.
I'd love to check out the footlocker.
I'll take the
Love
wardrobe.
to check out the
I'll take the
footlocker.
wardrobe.
Okay.
So now I don't think it is a shoes.
Okay. So in the wardrobe there are some old robes. There is my candlesticks and candles. There's about 30 torches.
I'll take like 10 of them.
Okay.
Streamers.
And there's like 15 candles. In fact, it looks like it's a sort of supply closet for this place down here. And at the end of the bed is a footlocker. So you're going to try and open that.
Yes, please.
Okay. As you open the footlocker, a figure bursts out of appears to be an alcove immediately to the north and screeches at you. This looks like a completely haggard, broken version of the woman who was in the painting upstairs. So you would assume that this is a version of what would be Mrs. Durst. Mrs. Elizabeth Durst. And she is screeching, absolutely screeching.
Does she seem like
Hostile.
well, no, I think she's hostile. I was going to say, does she seem like sentient and angry, or undead zombie, shambling through the way? Can we get any indication?
She definitely appears to be undead.
Mm-hmm.
She's got rotting, her lips and her gums are all black and rotten, and her face is half rotted away. And she doesn't immediately attack you. So she goes, "Don't touch my stuff! How dare you come in here? Have you come to see him?"
I'm sorry, Lady Durst. We didn't mean you any harm. I put the torches back.
And you can hear Rose screaming inside your head.
Is she saying anything in particular, or is she just simply
Mother! Just screaming.
Every time you say Rose, I think.
Yeah, we all think Rose. Sorry.
Yeah,
What do you mean? Are we here to see him?
Him! The lecherous traitor! He deserved to die! He deserved to die for what he did.
Where is he? I found him.
he's hanging from a
He's-
rope above?
Oh, up there.
He's hanging.
No, we're not here
he's,
for him.
He's spinning on the. Then why are you here? Why have you intruded
Because
here?
your children were outside. They were
My
very terrified.
Children, they're a bothersome nuisance. Always getting in the way. Always poking their noses in where they're not wanted. Sobbing.
They did
I
ask
would
us
be-
to
I would
find
be too.
your youngest child, and we haven't seemed to find him.
He is not my child.
What became of him?
What he deserved. Why don't you go and find out if you are so interested?
Where is he?
You have not been deep enough yet to find him, I feel even dare. And she's just going backwards and forwards. And then she sort of wanders over and she just sort of pokes her husband's foot so he spins.
Miss-
I'll lean over to my cleric companion.
Yeah.
Put this one
Before you do that, I've got a couple more questions to ask. If that's okay. Mrs. Durst,
Mm-hmm.
who have you been working with?
Working with? Working with? I do not need to work with anyone.
And how are you still around?
I wouldn't leave this place. I have been down here for many, many years. Lots of people come to join us down here. Most are not alive like you. At
I'm
least
gonna
not for long.
telepathically link with Mrs. Durst and say, what do you know of Strahd? We saw a letter upstairs in the house.
I thought he could make us immortal. I thought he could make
She's
me
saying this out loud.
I
She's saying
thought
this out
he
loud, but
could
I'm speaking.
make- yeah, so she's talking out loud. I thought he could make me immortal. I thought he could make me young. I thought he could help me teach him a lesson.
Oh, 2 out of 3 isn't bad.
Are you referring to Strahd?
Make him young. If we worshipped him hard enough, he could grant us immortality, but
And-
he never can.
What
And
happens?
Vash will grin, and his canine teeth will extend. And he'll just grin, looking at it with his canine teeth.
And she shrieks.
Good one. Can I like, I'm sure this probably won't get an answer. Can I hold out the crystal ball and say, do you know what this is?
She's like, you have desecrated the shrine.
I rolled a 1, but because I'm not up, I get luck.
You do?
Roll.
Yeah, you
do.
never roll a 1 ever as a halfling. Ever.
Well,
19.
You do, you just get to do it again.
Okay.
It doesn't count.
Unless you roll a 1 again.
No.
Okay.
Seriously,
You
you
can
get to
re-roll
re-roll
all ones as a halfling.
Yeah, I only just
That
read
seems
that about
Yep.
5 minutes ago.
All ones. You never roll a natural 1.
And
Ever.
you have like really good stats.
Halfling
Halfling
bard.
bard, man.
Halfling rogues are.
Halfling. 5. Okay. That.
25.
Oh, jeez.
Natural 20.
Yep, plus
Yeah, because I'm 5, I'm 20 dex.
Okay. 20.
That was a 19 from me. Which for me is pretty good.
Pretty good. Zephyr.
10.
You so need you guys. Malachi.
It's still far below average.
Malachi, initiative.
Jesse.
Yes,
14.
initiative. Sorry, 14. Okay. Back to up.
Right, so, I will. Do I move my hex or move the other? You know what? I'm going to do the other thing. I am going to crouch down with my sword drawn. My hair is going to go from black at the roots to white. My eyes are going to go blood red. Fangs are going to descend. I'm activating my form of dread.
Looks like I'm not the only one who can transform.
That gives me some hit points. Fantastic. And then I will rush her and attack.
As you do that, I'm going to say, Elizabeth, we're not here to hurt you. But maybe we are. I'm sure we can still handle this diplomatically.
Handle this diplomatically. So.
She knows what I am. That would be a 19 hit.
Hits.
Uh, 8 slashing damage.
And she shrieks and rears back as we hit into her. Holly, you're up next.
I would just go ahead and activate my hammer. 16 plus 4, 30.
Hits. So she's reeling around and like she doesn't know which way's up and she's shrieking, "You've got to him, you bastards!
here to go with the children. You're not worthy of his attention. Quinn, you're up.
Can they please make a dexterity 15 save? A DC 15 for me, please. So my eyes are going bright purple as I reach out a hand and cast a spell. As I cast Snare on her. My last spell slot.
Okay. So check save. She fails that.
Amazing. She is lifted 10 foot in the air and restrained
Okay.
for up to 8 hours, as long as I keep my concentration. No, sorry, it's not concentration. Sorry, she's 3 feet above the ground, and she's restrained. Yeah, 8 hours. Sorry, 1 minute. Oh, sorry, the casting time is 1 minute. I don't do that. My mistake.
Okay.
I thought that said
Yeah.
1 action. Sorry,
No,
let
it's a
me
minute.
not do that. I'm not going to stand there for 10 rounds and cast a spell. I will. She doesn't seem very cooperative. Can I do non-lethal fire damage? Is that a thing?
Don't
No.
Cool. How about bludgeoning?
Bludgeoning, non-lethal bludgeoning is something.
Lovely. I will go in and try to give her a bonk on the head for the stuff.
Okay.
I want to talk about it. It seems like you've got some interesting things. You all seem very murder happy considering you were condemning me for stealing stuff earlier.
She's undead.
You have interesting
She needs
priorities.
to be put to sleep.
Just
I'm
just
glad
like
that
a
this is-
priest.
this is the
just
one
like
time-
a priest.
This is
That's
the
a
one time the
16.
half vampire is going to
Hits.
agree with the cleric.
Hits.
Yes, lovely.
There is no
I have a feel like we're going to end up being best friends.
That
Probably.
is 6 bludgeoning.
We might start off.
Okay.
Yeah, but those are the best friendships.
Always.
Have you read
So she's sort of reeling back and forth, one hit, Malachi, one hit after another, so she's just all over the place.
Elizabeth, please come down. We just want to talk to you.
Jesse, your shot.
Alright, I'm just going to do Sacred Flame. So yeah, she can make a dex saving throw.
And she rolls a 9. She fails the dex save.
So that's 5 damage.
And so as your holy flame comes down from the ceiling and goes shrieks and ricochets out backwards into her sort of cupboard. She's looking, she's smoking, and the flesh is peeling off her face, and she's looking really hard, really broken, and she it's her attack. So she comes barreling out, and she tries to hit Bash with her clawed hands.
Oh, hang on. Before she does that,
Yeah.
Because I'm in my form of dread, can she make a wisdom saving throw?
Oh, yeah, full fear.
Yes. The DC's low as shit, so might as well throw it out there just to see if I get a sneaky disadvantage.
17.
Yeah, pass.
Yeah, she's not frightened.
She's not frightened of me.
She comes at you with her fingernails 14 to hit,
No, that doesn't hit.
and a Constitution save. Thanks.
14.
Okay. So you notice that as she comes at you with her claws, she stinks of the grey, the rotten flesh, and rotten meat, and maggots, and all horrible, nasty things. Zephyr, you're up. Yeah, you're up.
Is this space to get
What
to
did
the
you-
side?
22.
I apologize.
No, that's
It's because I didn't
No,
update
you go.
I'll put it back in.
It's alright.
So you go and then go again.
It's so annoying that you can't just manually enter initiative in.
You can, but I'm not so able.
It's all good. You gotta look to manage it.
No, it's alright.
Yeah, you can't. No, show me the other day.
Sorry.
So you have your turn, I have my turn, you have your turn again.
Oh, you
Yeah.
It's not just like saying.
Fine. Just wasn't get thrown up to me.
Put in one initiative zone.
Yeah, that's true.
At least you can't do the default thing, I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
Can I wander up to this girl and just be like, now, think if you've been around far too long, and
What's that? She just laughs at you.
Only you are
She
halfway.
just throws her head back and just cackles with laughter.
I'm gonna get a. I love how all my normal attacks are missing. It's a 23. So all my normal like quarter staff attacks are missing, and then I'm just like bonking people on the head.
Just backhanding them.
Yeah, just bitch slap.
Okay, the bonking on the head bitch slap attack works fine.
This makes damage of 6.
Okay.
I'm really good at bitch slapping.
So
You should just say that's like
so
your
she-
style.
she's,
Like you do a fancy
she's-
thing to distract
She's
them.
staggering around.
Bitch slap.
She's staggering around. Ethically erupt. She's staggering around in pain.
The way of the backhand.
Way of the open hand's perfect style for you then.
Watch this hand, watch this hand.
It's
Okay.
hey,
With sneak attack?
We sneak attack.
Yeah.
I'll
Okay.
always sneak that,
Okay.
and then I'll use disengage to bolt out of it.
Okay.
It's up.
As you disengage, she leans forward as if to try and claw you, and her body just disintegrates. And so as you run away from her, you kill her outright, and
Wow.
all of her all of
getting
her
all the
body, all
kills.
of her
Yeah, you are.
you
Kill
get
steal.
all the kills. All of her body parts just disintegrate and fall into pieces and just lie in there, lie on the floor.
I just cooked them all a little bit and then you guys
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Do all the heavy work there.
So there's Mr. Durst swinging from the roof, and there's this first
We get experience points on, skills and stuff like that.
milestone.
That's just like,
He gets out of the
huh?
If he gets out of the
No, I was just saying that.
you'd be way up. You'd be
I know.
up
I
there.
think it's an
Yeah,
unfair
exactly.
way of doing it.
Yeah.
Doesn't
XP is definitely not fair.
Don't
Doesn't encourage
you usually
teamwork.
just divide XP amongst people anyway?
Yeah.
No, you
like-
don't.
No, it's where it kills.
It rolls a threat and it's who gets the kill.
Disgusting.
Which is,
Yeah, it doesn't
It's
encourage
just-
teamwork.
Are you opening the chest?
Yeah, now that she's gone, I'm gonna look around at everyone and puzzle
Okay.
what the moral system we have is.
Okay. So
and
as you
go
open
commit some theft.
the footlocker, the footlocker is full of stuff.
Oh, awesome.
So in the footlocker there is a cloak, which appears to be magical. There is a wooden box.
I'm so sorry, give me 2 seconds.
Okay.
Alright, keep going.
Okay. So I'll tell you what. So there's a cloak of protection.
Oh, awesome.
There are 4 potions of healing.
I'll take one of that, please.
Nice.
Or 2.
And my form of dread would drop.
There's a chain shirt.
Change that to
Chain shirt.
What type of armor is a chain shirt?
medium.
A musket. The flask of alchemist's fire.
That's cool. Napalm.
Medieval
It's medieval napalm.
napalm.
Medieval napalm. And a bullseye lantern because they're safe to keep in the same chest.
It's a
Cloak of protection
It's
is
a
good.
flame lantern.
Which you keep in the same chest as your napalm for all of your happy go-to blowing stuff up. Okay. There's a set of thieves tools.
Oh, set of thieves tools, nice.
Okay.
Can I have them? I should have them around.
And there is a
Scare
spellbook.
What?
And in the spellbook is disguise self, identify, mage armor, magic missile, protection from evil and good, dark vision, hold person, invisibility, magic weapon.
That is a very cool spellbook. I'm trusting you're going to give us that list again because I got none
Yeah,
of them.
I'll take the spell book because I'm the only one that can cast those spells.
Is there anything?
They're on my spell list. All of them.
Oh, do you need spells on your spell list
No.
for spell to work?
So if
Oh,
you
cool.
are not a wizard, anybody
Oh, okay. No wizard.
can cast
I'm not
from,
saying don't take it, but you do only get 2 spell slots.
anybody can
No, I'll use
cast
the book to
from a
cast.
spellbook.
Oh,
they
yeah.
still use
nice.
slots.
So
it's
long
not
as you
scrolls,
roll,
it's
but you must
Oh,
roll
yeah, no.
Arcana.
So it probably makes sense to use one of the full
Two,
casters.
three. One of
Probably
And
the
if
cleric,
you
'cause I
read,
can't
you
cast
try
it.
reading. Maybe
Yeah.
learn to read.
I pass the scrum.
Your DC to cast from a spellbook that you can't read may be higher.
That's probably.
But
that's
you
probably-
do at a certain level as a
Wingardium
rogue get
Leviosa.
use magic device, which would allow you to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is the thief tool any different from the one I've got?
These ones are, they're pretty high quality. I mean, you're an expert at these tools, so they're pretty high quality. They're less likely to break or get damaged. I would say that table deputy a +1 on your thieves' tools check. So if thieves' tools +1, if that makes sense.
Okay, here's a question.
Yes.
If I were to multi-class into something that can cast spells, how the hell do I have a semantic component?
Verbal component.
Sorry, the verbal component.
If you can't speak, you can't cast spells.
As rules is written.
So I'm going to just move it. So
I was tempted to do that.
And you can make a decision whether there's one room, whether you want to do that this evening, finish this. It shouldn't take on 5
Can I
minutes.
actually have one of those healing potions?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
I want
So
the
it's
change
40.
shirt if no one objects to that, because I currently don't have the best armor class.
No, I don't need it. I use
Oh
magic.
yeah, what does a cloak of protection do?
+1 to AC.
+1 to AC, just...
Yeah.
Is it +1 to AC and +1 to saving throws as well? It's in the inventory somewhere.
It is an inventory. Most big protection. It is +1 to AC.
I'm not really a mainstay fighter, I probably don't need that. So, yeah, but I would like to
I'm
change.
pretty.
No, I use magic too.
Yeah, you're a fighter.
So,
You can have
assuming
Please manage.
that, so you find the little room, the
Yep,
here,
I
the
follow
little
you.
room takes you right back, round in a circle. So there's where your spiritual weapon was, it's gone, and back down to those stairs that you can see on the other side.
Can we find the
And
baby?
when you
Not
come
as of
over
yet.
here, the chanting is particularly loud and particularly unpleasant.
Yeah, sure. Who wants the other 2 healing potions?
Oh,
And as you come down, you find yourself
Give them
into
away.
an even deeper, even darker dungeon.
Alright, I'll be in the lead because I've got the better vision.
How long? 5 minutes, 1 room.
Okay.
That's what I say. Finish it, and then you can start and go to next room. That's the last room.
I'm taking
Makes
the
it-
mess
makes
kit
no
as well,
sense.
just in case you want to know.
So
And
now you can hear what the chanting is. So down here, the chanting is really, really loud. So you've gone down the stairs that were on the other side of the spider pit, and you're in the room. You can now hear about maybe a dozen, 15, 20 voices shouting, "He is ancient, he is the land, he is ancient, he is the land," over and over.
Is that the
and
same
over.
thing they were saying with my crystal?
Yes. Over and over and over. And in this room, all the way around this room, are just these sort of tall pillars with little alcove cut into them, like a reliquary. And there's lots and lots of sort of items in little niches all the way around this this room. And if you're looking at it, and there's a tunnel down here, sloping down sort of off into the distance, and then this corridor slightly further over, so on the left, there's a corridor that goes off down this corner, and this seems to slope down into the distance.
I'd like to stand in the middle of the room and then reach out and cast Detect Magic.
Okay, so as you, nothing really in here, in this room, even though there's lots and lots of this, actually lights up on Detect Magic. The down on this sort of tunnel, you get this horrible, just general feeling of necromancy.
Ooh, I want to check that out.
Just necromancy. Nothing specific.
Light is short.
As you go down, you get to what looks like a rusted portcullis.
Follow
So a rusted portcullis, and on the other side of the portcullis you can see sort of green, sludgy water, a couple of feet deep on the other side of this portcullis. You can see what appears to be a stone dais rising out of this water, so it appears to be maybe a couple of feet deep all the way around this sort of dais in the middle.
Am I picking up any particular points of necromancy, or just
The
a general?
whole thing
Oh.
feels to be necromancy.
I'm going to turn around and say there's some bad vibes in that room. Can I try and open the door?
You can. So there doesn't appear to be the portcullis appears to be really rusty and quite solid iron. It looks pretty sturdy. If you look through the bars on the opposite side, you can see a winch. But it's on the opposite side.
How big are the bars?
Not big enough to get your arms through.
What about if I've got a wild shape left?
There isn't a lockpick.
How about for a rat to walk through?
You could walk through as a rat.
Awesome. I'm gonna.
Can you swim as a rat?
Rats can swim physically. They don't have a swim speed. Actually, I'm gonna just slightly. That's water in there, is there? Oh, I'm gonna turn into a roctopus because I can't do an octopus because they have a swim speed. But I can do a roctopus,
You can be a rock.
which is the most stupid creature because it doesn't have a swim speed, but it can only breathe in water.
It's a octopus.
It's an octopus that looks like a rock and lives on beaches. It's a D&D.
It's a rock octopus.
You can be a rock.
Okay. I will turn into a giant roctopus
Yes.
and my way through the bars.
A giant.
That's the technical.
Okay, so you
What
as a giant octopus squeeze your way through
They can
the
squeeze
bars
through pretty small
into this chamber, and as a giant octopus, you can see there's a winch mechanism on the there's like a wooden wheel, like a ship steering wheel on the top.
As I say, I'll take a tentacle and winch that over.
Okay. When you do that, actually, open the mechanism. So this mechanism appears to be pretty well made. It's about 2 feet of murky water surrounding the dais.
That's enough for me to like submerge it and take a breath, and I think I can breathe for an hour. No, that doesn't actually say.
You're heading in?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll head up to the dais and I'll use
They're the most
prestidigitation to clean my
They
pants and my
can't
boots.
swim. Like, they don't have a special swim speed, so they can only swim
Okay.
at
I'm
So
going on
as soon as-
someone's back, by
10
the way,
feet.
'cause 2 feet for me is a lot.
It's like that's a good thing.
I'll give you.
So as soon as you enter the room, the chanting stops.
Put you up on the left.
So it goes painfully quiet.
That's creepy.
And there's this high arched ceiling over the top. It's excellent acoustics. It's like 16 foot high, and there's a sort of in the middle of the room. There's an octagonal dais that rises about 5 feet above the water, and there's mist coming off the dirt and it's rolling down, similar to the mists that were outside. And there's rusty chains with shackles dangling from the 16-foot high ceiling over the top of this dais, with sort of handcuffs and things onto a stone altar, and the altar is carved with sort of gasping ghouls illustrated with dry blood, and on top of the altar is a small white bundle.
It's the baby.
Is the bundle moving? No.
I'm kind of an octopus right now, so I'm not going to go. Someone else should. Well, actually, maybe I'm the best person to, because if I die,
Since I'm the babysitter, I'll go.
Okay. So as soon as you go up into this alcove, 4 figures appear in the corners of this sort of platform that are around above the water, this sort of almost like standing guard, and they start chanting, "One must die, one must die, one must die, one must die, one must die," over and over and over again.
Okay, well, it was nice to meet you.
Yeah, bye.
I'll re-roll another character next week. It's fine.
what's that? What's to the south of this room?
This appears to be. I do a perception check.
Well, and I use my perception. So. That is a 14.
21.
Okay, with a 21, what you see in this
21. A room that's approximately 26.3 meters.
what you see is a
Oh my god!
We're all dead.
is a huge mound of flesh,
Faces.
faces and body parts
Flesh
sitting in.
It's an abomination, that's what it is.
Well, it looks like a tyrant from bloody Resident Evil.
Is it the baby and is the face like
Yeah,
the
it's the
baby's
baby.
face?
And the figures, the chanting is reaching a peak of one must die.
I'll immediately
One
transfer
must
my hex
die,
straight to it.
One must die. One must die.
How long
Roll
is it?
initiative.
It lasts for an hour.
Does it every
Yeah.
one? I thought it was
Yeah.
only like a minute or
It
so.
lasts for an hour.
I got 14.
Oh, you go A and then
It lasts for an hour. Let's search for an hour.
Initiative.
Yep, last one.
I'll transfer my hex to it already.
18. Yep.
21.
18 for me. Also, I'm a large creature again, just if you want.
20. Sorry.
21.
Okay.
I'm sorry, 18.
Make it up now. 18.
I rolled a 17. I don't know
Harley.
if I had plus.
Sorry.
20.
Plus
One.
So is there anything on the dais that we can't
Step
decide?
there.
There's a little white package or some sort.
That's
Four.
Thought it was the baby. Well, we don't know.
Okay.
Actually check.
We've gone so bad for initiative.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be a sword of flesh monsters.
And
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, you haven't played D&D with me, you My rolls are like all below 10. There's a reason I ended up multicasting into
Malachi.
the bard thing.
Yes,
Yeah, 14.
Jack
14.
I can't get below a 12, I think it is, for like persuasion or something, so it ends up being minimum. So,
the four creatures in the corner are going to do anything about it.
Okay,
So
Harley,
it's
you're
just
first.
Watch
Harley
that
and then
light
that.
as it starts going.
I haven't given you my
Oh, sorry. It's alright, it rolled automatic as well.
20s.
Oh, in that case, Harley. Aha. Sorry. Okay, Harley, you're up.
I'm not just
You'll be pleased to know that the giant scary flesh man Crit Velvet's in it.
Oh,
So-
awesome.
It
So-
also has disadvantage
I'm
on
a-
all strength checks.
Ah, brilliant. I'm a large octopus, so I can grapple it without
I'm not
disadvantage.
even in the
I
room.
can grapple it
Okay.
do a whole
I transferred my hex
Like,
before combat started.
Well done.
Okay.
I mean, you're still
I don't
more
know.
useful than a
I said I followed
gelatinous
everyone to
cube.
the room. It's
Sorry.
not there.
That's not very good. Harley, you're in.
I'm just gonna go straight and charge for this big flesh monster and go at it with my warhammer. That's a natural 18 plus 4.
22.
Yes.
Nine damage.
Okay,
Yeah, that's over my skull.
And I'm gonna action surge and
Yeah.
hit it again.
Okay.
But first, I'm laughing.
You've got that book, that spell book too.
That's
Yes,
so-
yes.
20.
You just know those spells.
Hits.
Oh, you'll have to make
Yep.
a check to cast them.
So I still have to use a spell slot.
Yes, you're still using a spell, so it's just more spells that you can cast.
Yeah,
So
okay.
that's another 7 damage.
Emma, can Jesse get a list of those spells in the book?
Yes.
I do want to use
Identify
In
tendons.
the spell book that you just picked up, that book.
Yes,
Right.
absolutely.
It book might be harder to.
Bash, you're up.
This is always hits more
Um,
contested.
Bash, you're up.
Armor.
So
Okay.
this thing is just numbering. That's definitely hit, but didn't appear to do
It's
anything
alive.
at all.
Alive's a strong word.
Alive is a word.
Is it animate? Is it moving?
Yes.
Did
It's moving.
react?
I was going to say also,
Yeah.
I would have had detect magic up and been within 30 feet of it, so did I get anything in particular?
This is also necromantic. Necromantic.
It seems magical.
No, it
Cool.
appears to be sort of
So in that case,
You've got magic missile, sorry, major armor, invisibility, whole person. Magic
I'll go form of dread again. Go
Yes.
the blonde hair, the teeth,
Yeah.
the red eyes.
Yeah.
Going in for attack.
Okay.
Ooh, whoops, that's not bad. That's not good. That's a 10.
Ooh. That was
I figured as much. You can drown.
Yeah.
Not drown. I've only got like a +7 to attack.
I was gonna say, you've also gone from level 13
to 2. Yeah. So that's all I got.
okay. Queenie.
I would like to, I think lumber is probably the most accurate word,
Okay.
through the water towards this thing.
Yeah.
I will jump through the air and spin with my 8 tentacles and go in for an attack.
Tentacle attack.
That is a 16.
That hits.
Wonderful. Can it please make a dexterity? No. Can it please make a athletics check with disadvantages? I
With
would say?
disadvantage because I've got hex on it.
I love debuffs. Debuffs are good.
It also takes 10 bludgeoning damage.
And also damage, any damage mitigation.
So it's athletics with 16 with disadvantage.
Meets beats, as I understand. So yeah, unfortunately, I'm not able to hang on to it.
So it's really slimy, and you know your tentacles are just trying to grip this raw flesh.
Does my 10 bludgeoning seem to do anything?
Yeah, it seems to hit. Yeah.
Alright, oh, well, that's something. Cool.
Okay.
That is my go.
How are these creatures in the corner reacting?
They're just watching.
still
They're not
chanting.
doing anything. They're not
Watching and
shouting anymore. They're just watching.
Oh, also,
and-
sorry, in case I wasn't clear, I want to position myself, if I can, in front of the gap that it's coming out of, so that as it moves out, I get an opportunity attack. So let me try and grab it.
How far am I supposed to be?
You can move into range.
I've tried to position myself against the stairs,
Yep.
so if it does move, I get an opportunity to attack as well.
Move into range.
Makes me want to
So it's not an opportunity to attack unless it moves past.
I love this, because a lot of creatures have attack check or attack. Check.
18.
18
Control,
hits.
which is the
Marvelous. And
Druids are really cool.
Malco, you're up next.
I'm gonna.
No, not just yet.
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
just saying you're up next.
13 damage.
Okay.
And then I'll disengage and move back to maybe in the middle of that platform. Like not the along that side ledge, probably in the middle somewhere. I disengage there.
Okay. So back to the left.
Kind of want it to chase you.
Okay.
As it moves, we get opportunity.
Yeah, but he doesn't want an
Okay.
opportunity to take
Malachi, you're up.
And then
What's the range here? What's the size of the map?
You're in range. It's about 20 feet away.
Oh, 20 feet. Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure everyone's within range of me because I'm going to bless 3 people. Bless Harley.
Harley, yeah.
The kid.
Cluster again?
Definitely, yeah.
And the way. And
what does Bless do?
What is my name?
Oh, that's
Zephyr.
Mr. Zephyr.
That's Sir.
this is our part. Yeah.
What does
Don't you
Cluster
forget
do?
yourself.
Plus 4
I just
all
like
rolls.
blanked for a second.
All
Otherwise, not bad.
rolls.
All rolls.
I'm
But all rolls with a d20.
A plus
Okay,
D4
well,
or
Plus
You
max
can-
plus 4?
Plus
You
d4.
can roll a
It's
d4 and
like
add the number.
guidance. It's like guidance.
But it's permanent guidance.
Okay.
It's
I
for
kinda need that
to
attack rolls and ability checks.
Do you want to move?
Do you want to move?
And
Yeah, I'll
saving,
move
and saving
just to the
throws.
middle.
And saving
Okay.
throws.
Okay. Zephyr.
Yeah, what's the this baby in the crib thing?
Yep.
I never had a good look at it. So
Okay. So I'll let you do that as a free action.
Yep.
That's a free action. You go over and inside there's nothing there. It's a bundle of rags with a bloody dagger lying.
and there's nothing else on this pedestal. It's
Nothing
just
else.
that bundle of
No.
rags.
It's just a dagger.
Yeah, is this dagger anything special?
It's a bloody dagger. But it's a dagger.
Did my detect magic pick up anything on it?
I'll just pick it, to be honest. I'm gonna.
It's not magical, I would have said so.
I'm gonna running jump.
Yep.
Oh no, yeah. Because I don't want to get my feet.
Old man don't want to walk around with wet shoes.
Over to this point.
Okay.
It's 10 foot from that island to the creature. You can just run along and drop it.
Yeah, I can.
Piggyback
Just
back.
run along the back of the octopus. And then you see D4
Okay.
attack roll there.
Yep.
Yes.
A minute, I think.
Oh,
But it's
God.
concentration based.
You missed again.
die.
Oh,
So
jeez.
attack.
So as you go running along the arch, you slip with it, and you end up using your core stuff for balance like a tightrope walker, rather than being able to actually.
As I'm falling, I'm probably falling off, and as I'm falling, I'm just gonna like you bitch straight this thing. And that's 17 to hit.
That hits.
Your bonus action slide really good. The bitch slap always works.
Bitch slapping, yeah.
That's 3 damage.
Okay. Okay, so it's going to attack. And it's going to attack.
Temporary hit
It's
points.
going to attack Bash.
Yeah, I've got to remind temporary hit points.
And it has a multi attack, so it's going to try and slam you in the first instance.
That's fine.
Okay.
But my temporary hit points. My don't kill martial arts.
So it's going to reach her, and it crit hits on a slam. So
Oh,
it crit hits for a 27.
Oh dear.
Oh shit.
My condolences.
Lucky I put that temporary hit points on.
Let's see if it does.
Mhm. So it does 18
Okay.
Oh,
18
Big
how you
damage.
doing?
I'm alright, I'm up.
You've got one left, haven't you?
1.5.
Oh no, because you had the 10.
Yeah, I had the temporary hit points.
Okay.
I'm just under half health.
And,
yes, yes, nice to have 10.
And
1d10
now
plus 2.
and now roll Constitution saving throw.
Well, I have to because I took damage anyway.
No, just that.
13,
Okay.
and then
So-
I've got to roll one for Hex. Yeah, Hex is gone.
Okay. So as it slams you backwards, this horrible monster just comes forward and just leans down and just engulfs you completely, a bit like a gelatinous cube. So you are engulfed within, inside this flesh mound at the moment.
Can I attack from in there, or
No, not on this turn.
no? I mean when it is my turn.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, Harleen, you're up.
Seeing that, I'm just going to drop the pen. Did it with my. That's
That sword
17
twist.
plus
Oh, I
one.
was going to say, like
hits.
if you're not taking
It's less to the hits or to the damage?
The hit
Oh,
two
hits.
hits.
The attacks and saving throws.
That is 10 damage.
Okay, 10 damage. So it's reeling around. It's reeling around sort of slightly off kilter now because it's got paralysis inside and it's obviously sort of knocking it off balance a little bit. So, Bash, it's your turn. Make a perception check.
A perception check.
Yes.
I do believe that's a natural 20 for a 23.
Excellent. As you're being subdued and you're trying to work out whether you can attack, you see in the very centre of this flesh mound what appears to be a crying corpse that's suspended in the centre, suspended in the centre of this mound by these sort of sinewy ligaments, and it's just looking at you with these sort of beseeching eyes.
Like, kill me.
Yeah.
Alright,
Like,
cool. I will try and stab it with my sword.
Okay.
disgusting.
That's a 21 to hit.
Hits.
For 9 damage.
And as you hit the whole of the rest of the flesh mound just explodes into a million pieces, and you're left in the middle with the skeleton of a tiny goat.
I've got the skeleton skull here, tracing down my forearm like I was holding a baby and with a sword in my hand.
Okay, roll a religion check. The figures in the corner blink out.
Well,
They just disappear.
that was unusual.
Have you lost
11.
contact with your god?
Apparently.
Okay.
11.
Okay, so you feel very strongly that the way to stop this is to put all the bones of all the children from the various places within themselves into the now centipede-free mausoleum and to lay them there to rest, and that you now have the whole family. Mrs. Durst probably doesn't deserve the rest. She can just be tormented in eternity.
Everyone, we need to return their bones to their resting places.
I guess I have the
drop my
youngest
wild
file.
shape.
Okay.
So,
I would also like to, as we put each one back, I'd like to open one of the bottles of wine we have, and I'd like to pour a glass and say for the fallen to pour it to the ground. Not on the corpse, but in the just
One for you, one for the corpse.
probably not because that's
Are you
like
still
six
in
bottles.
on octopus at this point?
No, I'm dropping the wild shape because I feel like that'd be a little. Actually, I can do them all at once as an octopus.
So you work your way back through carrying the tiny as you're walking your way back through all the chambers, you notice that a letter has fallen from the pocket of Mr. Durst's books as it was spinning.
Because I'd have climbed up on the roof to cut him down while one of you guys catch him.
Okay. It's essentially that letter's a suicide note. So I'll put it into the chat for you, but essentially there's a suicide note apologising to his children for the torment that he's inflicted upon them and the terrible, terrible woman that their mother became and his role in that. And how he was a coward and he should have done more to protect them. So into it. My beloved children, I wish I could tell you to do what that all monsters aren't able to do true. Life can create things of exquisite beauty, but it can twist them into hideous beings, selfish, violent, grotesque monsters. It hurts me to say, your mother is one such monster. I know, inside and out. I'm afraid that the disease afflicting her mind has taken hold of me as well, and it sickens me. I think what we've put you through, there is no excuse. I only ask though I do not know. I think I have the right to do so, but you can forgive us. I despise what your mother has become, but I love and pity her all the same. I wish I could see you rose blossom into a strong, beautiful woman with thorn and bolt I would hopefully there for you, but I can't. This is the only way.
Do the ghosts leave our home and we small bones?
The ghosts say thank you. And thank you for reuniting us with our brother. And you feel really strongly as they leave your head that they are at peace and that they are settled. And that was good news. As you leave the house, back into the mists.
Before we leave the house, sorry,
Yes.
I'd also like to go to the Hound or whatever it was,
Yes.
Twisted Creature, and
Yes.
open the door and say to that, do you want to go free? And if it,
To the twisted creature.
I
As
want
you
to say,
open
how can I help you?
as you open the door, it's very towards you and rushes upstairs and starts to just light a candle in the house and starts sweeping.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Chris,
The housekeeper.
is the dog still there?
The dog is still there. As you leave the house,
Can
the
I-
dog tags along beside you.
Yeah, I'll take the dog with me.
The boss of this world is not tough.
the dog's
I'm
not
going
going
to say to that, I'm going to say,
This world has got a problem.
I'm going to say to the creature, for what it's worth, as far as I'm concerned, this house belongs to you now. And then also, as we nip out, I'm going to grab that hand crossbow from the front, because I'm going to take that as well.
Yes, you got a hand on the way.
And I'll be doing some like last rites in prayers sort of things. It's the age.
As each of the bodies. So you actually feel the sense of being falling away from this house as you leave it, and a sense of peace overcoming. And as you leave the house, the exterior of the house, which was brand new, has started to crumble into ruin. Has just started to, all the facade has started to age and crumble. And some of the things that you brought out the house, the books, have started to age. They're still books and still readable, but they have started to age and decay. And
Magic maintained.
the dog is there, and the dog will follow you down the road, and you're all leveled up to level 3.
Yay!
I'm really enjoying this, Anna. This is
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So you know, because at level 3 I'll be taking back to the blade.
Okay. I like level 3 though.
It's a good way to start the adventure as well, like with a straight into a dungeon. It's good concept.
Because everybody else is level 3.
Lovely.
All down.
Next week we're
We're not in Randall. We're in.
We're in wherever we're in.
We're in a one shot.
The other place. I get to play,
Yes,
I
that's
get
right.
to play
I'm
a
doing next
nun.
week.
Are you joining